Another Republican lawmaker saying I do to same-sex marriage. U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska says her change in opinion is consistent with what she is hearing from constituents in her state, especially the younger ones. If you want to buy one of J.D. Power and Associates' top-performing cars this year, you're going to need to have plenty of money or to save it. Porsche topped the list. Lexus as Infiniti also did well. Scion, Fiat, and Mitsubishi near the bottom. This is ABC News.
Membership helps Strictly Bicycles keep business tuned.
Building a bike is like building a small business. With a bike, it's about weight, and a business, it's cutting costs.
The Plum Card from American Express Open offers an early pay discount or extra time to pay your bill with no interest.
It helps with my cash flow and lets me reinvest so I can put my money to work.
Find out more at open.com.
I'm Nelson Gutierrez, and I'm a member of making my money work as hard as I do.
This is what membership is. This is what membership does.
Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, new kid, you need to know something about me. I love Honeywell products. No matter what the job, they've got safety covered. Grainger is where we get it, with names you know and trust. UVEC safety glasses, Howard Light hearing protection, North Respiratory, Miller Fall systems. Love them. Honeywell, recommended for safety, trusted by me. Get it? Got it? Good. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
And now it's time for the voice.
Don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, stick your head out and yell, "Freedom! Top of the world!"
The voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of The Voice of Ocala, Wednesday, June 19th. Good to be with you. Glad to be with you every regular weekday, as we are, and, of course, Saturday morning on Buddy Sports Page. Speaking of sports, what a phenomenal basketball game we saw last night. It was, raise your hand if you turn off the TV or walked out, because there's a bunch of folks in Miami who did, and just goes to show you, like Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over.
And couldn't get back in the arena. Tried to get back in the arena, and the police were like, nope.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about in that game tonight, later on. And we're going to have Don Rutledge, the referee who was a consultant to the NBA and the SEC, talk about the referee. And the referee hadn't been too big of a deal in this series. There were a couple calls last night that we're talking about. We'll get to those in just a minute. Today on the program, are you guilty of kleptomnesia? Well, you probably are.
What?
You know what it is. Kleptomnesia. You could be guilty of it.
Is that stealing memories?
Yeah, it's stealing something. Stealing some intellectual properties. And we'll tell you how that works. We're all probably, to some degree, some very famous people were. Wall Street Journal story about kleptomnesia, what it means, what it is, and how we should all be aware of it. Daniel Owen, the straw. Is he done? Is he going to play some more? Is he going to continue his political career? He broke the story yesterday on this radio program. He's not running for another term as city councilman. Today's story on the ocala.com, of course, said he announced it at the city council meeting last night. Wrong.
That's not accurate.
He announced it right here yesterday, but I talked to the straw today and thanked him for his loyalty and the fact that he remembered us. Also today in the show, right here in this studio, WrestleMania comes to the voice of Ocala.
I know Woo! Woo!
Yeah, well, no, Ric Flair's not here.
Oh, Ric Flair's not
here?
No. You know what? I'm glad you knew what that was. That makes me feel a little bit better about you.
You kind of think I don't know anything. I know that.
No, when it comes to professional wrestling, I know you know how to turn the TV off.
I know who Keith Sweat is now. Keith Sweat is now, too. So,
yeah, well, there you go.
And by the way, guess who'll be here? Dory Funk Jr. Dory Funk I'm not a...
When I was a kid...
Yeah, he's a legend.
Dory Funk... Yeah. I went and watched at the Lakeland High Life Fronton and in the Jacksonville Memorial Coliseum, Dory Funk Jr. and Dusty Rhodes get after each other when I was a kid.
Well, you'll be wanting to meet Dory, and, of course, that other great George the Taxman Albright.
That's a guy I don't want to fight with.
Yeah, he's... there are probably some people who might pay Dory to give him a shot or two, just Maybe give them a little punch in the ribs for their tax bills, you know?
I heard that a popular city attorney is managing the tax man.
I don't know what his nickname is. It should be like Jimmy Badman Gooding or something like that. You know?
I hear he's managing the tax man.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. We'll know the characters. I don't know if we got microphones in here to get everybody on, but certainly...
Who's going to keep them apart from each other?
If Mr. Funk wants one, he'll get one.
Who's going to keep them apart from each other?
Be your job.
No, okay. I'm all for it. I'm on Dory Funk's side, by the way.
Yeah, just if he acts up, slap him upside the head like you always do.
Well, that's what Dory Funk Jr. would do, slap him upside the head.
Also on the program today, Bruce Fishlow from the Humane Society, talking more about the state of our animals and how important they are to us. And what
we have a big event coming up this Friday.
Mm-hmm. And one of our favorite guys, we got to squeeze him in here because the schedule's been tough. The water czar himself, Jeff Halcomb, joins us today in the studio. He's always good to have. He's always good for a little information. And breaking news, got a high school football coach leaving.
A great high school, a guy that's top-notch, too.
An excellent high school football coach who has great potential, but won't be coaching here. What do you hear? Tom said, I've been trying to get a hold of him. Well, we know now why he couldn't get a hold of him.
I talked to him today.
We will, finally. And so we'll tell you who that is. And as I said, when you get to the sports, it just has to go down as one of the greatest games ever. And this little note before we go to break. We know LeBron lost his headband, but why did he lose his head? That guy we saw in the last minute and a half was somebody that nobody knew, including Dwayne Wade, who said, I've never seen him like that before. I didn't know what was going on. Of course, as you know by now, the Heat came back to win Game 6 and sets up a tremendous finish for Game 7. It's almost too bad somebody has to lose a Game 7 in a series like that. But certainly last night, you got your money's worth. If you're watching that game, I just wish they started a little bit earlier.
Unless you were one of the 3,000 or 4,000 that left with 24 seconds to go.
Exactly. And, it didn't do any good to complain. But I could do without all the ceremonial junk they do at the top of 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. It's like if we came on and sang and danced and whatever for 15 minutes. I mean, let's play ball.
Have them announce.
Let's just play ball.
Have the teams announced before the game.
If you want to go
9 o'clock,
go pregame, do all your ceremonies. Let's have the tip at 9. I don't want to be watching overtime at midnight. Sorry.
I agree with Buddy.
And I know Colin Cowherd went off of this yesterday. I happened to hear him talking about it. But you almost got to be a West Coast guy. If you've ever been to California, JJ would love it because you can watch every game. You can watch every game all night.
Starts at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and then you got time to go out after the game. Yeah. You being the guy you are, you'd like to go out.
Correct.
Me, I go to bed. But the fact is, and you get all the results when you go to bed. You don't have like back east, West Coast baseball scores you get the next morning.
Right.
So, and then back in the day when you didn't have the internet, you had to wait till the paper got out the next day.
Right.
You couldn't figure out, you couldn't keep up.
Exactly.
So anyway, if you're a real, and Cowherd said, if you're really a sports aficionado, you get your football games on Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning, whatever, and everything's early. So for us, just do us a little. All right, you got to have them at 9 o'clock. Fine, start them at 9 o'clock.
Could you imagine if we were able to be done with football on Sundays, JJ, by 4 o'clock in the afternoon? How much that would free up our Sundays?
I don't know how healthy
I'm not
popping
sure.
one open at 10 a.m. really is.
Yeah. Well, you can show a little restraint.
Think about how it would free up your Sunday, though.
To watch the Bills, buddy, you got a
point.
Be a little loose.
Got a point. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll hear from Daniel Owen. We got a big show today. Lots of stuff to talk about. We'll tell you about the death of a journalist. He's talking about is one of the great ones that we've lost by traffic accident. Also, I'll talk with you more about the big showdown charity wrestling match. Going to be. We've got to keep them apart today. We don't want anything to happen in the studio. George the Taxman Albright, Dory Funk Jr. in our studio at 3:30. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm had experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
Is there a possibility with all the budget talks and how you've said you would possibly look into a half-cent sales tax, is there a possibility of privatizing the jail as a budget maneuver?
I will tell you this, that, Department of Corrections across the state has done privatization probably once or twice. It doesn't work. It's more expensive, and I think it's easily explainable that companies come in, they may give you a low bid, and then next thing you know, 3-4 years down the road, it increases, and at the end of the day, you're paying a lot more money than what it's going to cost you. So I don't have any interest in the privatization of the jail, and I don't think it's going to save taxpayers any money.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
WOCA,
Alice, you gotta hear there.
What?
When I call Devon Self Storage at 873-0777, they answer the phone always so happy.
Always?
Here, listen.
Thank you for calling Devon Self Storage. This is John. How may I help you today?
George.
What?
You hung up.
Of course. I know all about Devon Self Storage across from Hobby Lobby and 200 and how you can store just about anything there and you have your own code to get in. I just want to hear him answer the phone again.
Again? Yes, George, yes.
So what did you do with your weekend? Me? I was flying, because I'm taking flying lessons from Ocala Aviation. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, I'd like to give that a shot, but I'm not quite sure. Well, I've got the solution. It's called the Discovery Flight, and that's exactly what it is. It helps you discover the wonder of flying and if it's for you. It's only $99, and it gives you the chance to learn a bit more about the airplane and then actually go for a ride with a flight instructor and take control of the airplane. That's how I got started, and now I'm on my way to being a pilot. Yeah, I know, scary thought, right? But the demand for qualified pilots is stronger than ever. And with the help of Ocala Aviation, you could make a career change and learn to be a commercial pilot. But it all starts with a Discovery Flight. So stop by the flight school, conveniently located at the Ocala Airport. Visit the website at ocalaaviation.com or call 861-7484. That's 861-7484. Ocala Aviation. Your adventure starts here.
Call me crazy. Some people say insanity is doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result. I think insanity is 1,000 single-sided full-color business cards for $15 or packing service for 50% off. Call me crazy. Regency Printing on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Look for the yellow signs.
This is Tom Schmitz live in WOCA studios. This news break brought to you by Gateway Bank. Ryan Hearn is moving on, according to Ocala.com. The Westport High School football coach accepted a job with Admiral Farragut in St. Petersburg after 3 years with the Wolfpack. Hearn was a combined 14-17 over his 3 seasons with the Wolfpack. The Bellevue High graduate and former USF player said the offer from the Class 3A private school, which will make him one of the highest-paid prep coaches in the state, was simply too good to turn down. This news break was brought to you by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy every Friday for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
That golden sand, two sweethearts and the summer wind.
Got a story out of Tampa, Bright House, about him being a USF guy and coming back to, clear the Palos Park, coming back to the St. Pete, Tampa area. And he worked, of course, with Levitt was there and Rick Kravitz. And he, of course, was Letterman there at USF, and he feels like it was his roots. And Kravitz was Hearn's defensive coordinator during his playing days at USF. So I guess it was a good bump for him. We heard lots of good things about Ryan Hearn. We also talked to him, thought he was one of the brighter lights we had seen in the business. By all accounts, it looked like Westport was on its way to really having quite a program, and things happened. It didn't like. By the way, that Admiral Fargo was a bad team. They were 8-2 last year, so he goes into a situation, a winning program. He's expected, obviously, to produce,
and if he becomes one of the highest paid coaches in the state,
yeah, well, he got some nice cash,
right?
So can't blame a guy for moving on. It's just a little surprising at this point in time because last time we talked to Coach Hearn, he was extremely happy. He was very, very excited about his team in Westport and said that the long-term future looked really great. So he leaves that program in better shape than when he found it.
Of course, he does.
Either way. So we'll talk about that more maybe in the sports hour if time. You guys ever have an idea that you thought was pretty cool and that you thought was yours and then you found out maybe it wasn't? I had a friend of mine, we used to kid him, he was from Iowa, and he once told me, I'm pretty sure I invented Have a Nice Day. You did, huh? Yeah, he did. So,
wait. I want to meet this.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. He thought he invented the phrase, Have a nice
day. Right. So, I don't know. He got that someplace. He thought it was his, right?
Okay.
That guy is rad.
Now,
I'm going to do that. Just
he also
a phrase my own.
He also listened to once met a girl in his high school listening to the Elvis Presley record, I'm All Shook Up. That what he was really saying was Marcia Cook, who was the girl he went to school with. He was a different kind of cat, John.
Obviously.
Anyway, but we're all kind of guilty of this sometimes. We hear something and, we don't realize it goes to our subconscious. And in a moment, we repeat it or we talk about it or we own it and we say as if it's ours. We all do it. Let's be honest.
I don't think I've ever done it.
Right. Now, there you go. That's one right there. But there's something now called, they have a name for that, called kleptomnesia.
I'm pretty sure I've never done that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So here's the deal on kleptomnesia. It quote unquote, once we accept a piece of information as being true, we no longer need to worry about where we acquired it. And this particular psychologist named Dan Gilbert, who call it kleptomnesia, he says you generate an idea that you believe is novel, but in fact was created by somebody else. It's accidental plagiarism. It's all too common in creative work. You guys know what plagiarism is?
Of course.
Yes.
It's really rampant out there, particularly with the internet, because everybody copies everybody on the internet.
Copy and paste and everything. Yeah.
And in the newspaper business, it got to be a real problem. As editors, we used to have to take passages that sounded like a little bit off the wall or a little too much depth in it or something and Google them to see if it was someplace else, to check the reporter to make sure they didn't lift it off the internet. We have an alarming rate of people who got caught doing that, and it's out there. But this is more of a subconscious thing. It isn't apparently a real act of any kind.
Have you ever done it?
Have I ever
said something and said that you came up with it?
Oh wait, and said I don't think.
Well, maybe said it like you owned it, or it was your idea.
Yeah. After I said it, I wasn't like, yeah, that's my joke.
Oh, JJ does that now. He does that all the time with what do you say? When things are good, what's he say they are?
Straight.
No, the word he uses.
When things are good? Rad?
No, rad's what I would have used when I was 15, buddy. I don't know. It's legit. Yeah.
Okay.
JJ says it's legit. But he really stole that from MC Hammer.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the deal. 75% of participants involved in this study unintentionally plagiarize, claim they generated an idea that was in fact offered by another member of their group. They did this in a group. They wrote down 4 new ideas, each category. The majority wrote down at least one idea that had already been generated by somebody else. So it's proven out. And the question is, were they paying attention? Where did it come from? 71% of the participants took credit for an idea that the groups had generated. So, according to the story in Wall Street Journal, it's very difficult to remember the source of information. We get busy, distracted, working on a complex task. I've seen it happen in numbers of forms. I know a local magazine here fired their editor for plagiarism, and I know why. It wasn't that she was the evil person. It's that she was so overburdened and had so much work to get done that she took shortcuts. She read something on the internet. That's a good idea. I'll just throw this in the story. And she was, in fact, plagiarizing. All you have to do to avoid that is what? Credit the source.
Give credit to the source.
See, we're plagiarism. We like to always try to remember to say, according to ocala.com, because if we don't, we're plagiarizing their material. So as long as you credit the source, as a person who tries to make his living in the creative world, it's very exasperating when this happens. And it's a very famous author at Sports Illustrated. I've told you the story. Who wrote a really long piece on Urban Meyer in Sports Illustrated. He got praised to the heavens for it. I'm telling you, there were things in that book that Urban Meyer said to me that only could have been taken from my conversation with him, that were in my book that nobody else knew, and he would never have repeated to anybody else.
And it got put in Sports Illustrated.
And it was never credited to the proper source.
Well, why didn't you get the guy fired?
I couldn't prove it. I called the publisher and said, what's this about? I said, well, unless you got real hardcore evidence, you can prove it. And he was so skillful how he did it that I couldn't say. I could say, this is my book. Let me say, well, he told me the same thing. Who knows? So it happens a lot. So here's what you do. If you have kleptomnesia, it's K-L-E-P, it's klepto, and then menesia, M-N-E-S-I. So it's kleptomnesia. Psychologists recommend reducing distractions, cutting down on multitasking, and doing things of that nature. So it's something that's out there. So I want to bring that up. All right, let's get to the story about Daniel Owen. Since you were here yesterday, when I wasn't, when he walked in, and we're going to play his first bite, why don't you talk about it and introduce the first bite?
Well, yesterday Daniel Owen walked in, and he peeked around the corner right as we were going on the air, and he said, is Buddy here? And I said, no, Buddy doesn't join us in the first hour on Tuesdays, but you're more than welcome to sit down. He said, yeah, I'll sit down. I got something to tell you. And that's what this clip is. Daniel Owen sat down, and here's what he had to tell us.
Like I said, I did want to give y'all, not that it's a big story or too much breaking news, but tonight at council, I'm going to be announcing that I will not be seeking a fourth term as City Council District 5.
Wow, that's huge news.
For some, I'm telling you, people just ran off the road with excitement, man. There's dancing in the streets.
So Daniel Owen, you heard it here first, folks. Daniel Owen has said he will not be seeking re-election for District 5, for Seat 5.
But correct. 2016 President of the United States, always out there.
Exactly, it's always out there. No, but it's been 12 years, Tom. My son was 4 years old the week that I got sworn in.
I see your son now.
My last public meeting coming in December, he will be 16.
I see your son often. He's not 4 anymore.
No, he's not 4. But it's been great. I've enjoyed it. I've loved it.
All right, so that was Daniel's comments. I came in later. Obviously,
you came running in. You were one of the people that he said jumped up in the car.
I've been complaining about him not coming on, and he comes on, and then I'm not here. So came in, sat down, and we talked about his career at City Council and about some of his favorite things and the economic development in the city.
That economic development is now the cool thing to do from an elected standpoint. I can tell you, Tom, that there are, as we know, minutes of meetings and there are votes that have been cast, say 10 years ago, just as little as 10 years ago, where economic development was non-existent. And I know there may be some people out there to get upset at this. Economic development was non-existent at the county level. I mean, they just recently, in the last couple of years, have formed an economic development and they're doing it. They're starting to realize, they're starting to get
they're going gangbusters
that maybe you need to build a road if FedEx wants to get here, and maybe you need to have an industrial park, because we had horse farms. And I remember I go back to the days of Cisco, and I told the gentleman who was in charge of real estate for Cisco, I said, send a letter to the city requesting that you're going to buy Pine Oaks. And the political fallout over that was huge because we didn't have any place. There was nowhere to put them but a golf course, and there was nowhere to put the Walmart but horse farms. And so as we sit here, and start to see, we have industrial parks, we've got Magna property, we've got the airport, we've got places now to stick some of these big boxes, and it's a cool thing. So you come in this campaign season, and you're going to always hear it. You'll hear it next year at the county level. I believe in jobs. You hear all of this stuff. So now it's a cool thing to do, and so it's been exciting to see that turn. I look at IHMC, I look at the downtown, Dr. Ford, the addition of what's going on in the downtown Ocala. I'll talk about it a lot with Buddy, but it's huge what's going on there. So there's a few little feathers in the cap. It's always easy to sit here and say, well, we got a lot accomplished or whatever, and there's always more to do. You sit here and think there's as you know, but you talk a lot about Ocala and Marion County, what a great place it is. There's always going to be great things to do to sort of drag this place over the finish line on a daily basis. And I think it's time. I have a real peace about it. I think a lot of good things have been set, as I told Tom in the last segment. Promoting Ocala, Marion County now, at least from an economic hub standpoint, is a cool thing to do, and that's something I think, as I look and I've seen, because it just wasn't that way 10 years ago. People can say that it wasn't.
It wasn't that way 2 years ago, really.
It just wasn't, and now it is, and so it's exciting, and we've seen a lot of great things grow. There's a lot of good things in place, and I just feel that it's time.
Councilman Daniel Owen talking about not running. I think I would hate to see him drop out of politics, because we need some, even though we don't agree on a lot of things, Daniel and I have our differences, but I always know where he stands, and I admire somebody who stands up and tells you what he's about and what he believes, and then you can argue with him or disagree with him or whatever, or vote him out. But I like that candor. I wish more of our elected politicians would take that approach, and fewer of them saying, I got me a paycheck, I'm in office now, I want to play it safe so I can keep my paycheck. So I realize Daniel's only making $200 a month, so he's not risking that much. But I think his leadership and even his controversy have been a good thing for us. And so I'll hope it's not the last we've seen of Councilman Daniel Owen. He no doubt will serve it somewhere. We don't know where yet. All right, coming up in just 2 minutes, we've got WrestleMania right here. It's a Helping Hands charity event which is coming up, and they've got a couple of bad dudes, Dory Funk Jr. and George Taxman Albright, going to square off. They're going to be here in the studio momentarily. So you stay tuned for that. Coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin for WinStar Medical Research. Every day we hear another story about innovation or about the cutting edge of technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. But did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that will impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name WinStar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize WinStar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at WinStar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people are right now. WinStar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend an opportunity to you to be a part of these. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. WinStar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. WinStar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Strike one.
It's embarrassing to drive.
Strike two.
It costs too much to maintain.
Strike three.
You owe more than it's worth.
You're out of there.
Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. I'm celebrating two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and driving.
So this week you can hit a grand slam.
I'm giving you a ton of cash off a nicer, newer car you'll love to drive.
Are you riding the bench because of bad credit? Our For the People credit approval process goes to bat with the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game.
Join the major leagues and start driving a car you love.
Come see us during our Drive It Out of the Park event and get a ton of cash off a new ride.
Hurry, this game isn't going into extra innings. The stadium goes black after we've helped 57 people score a new ride. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige in Ocala or Bellevue, or call 694-1234. Sierra Prestige.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Want to feel better, look better, and have fun? I thought so. Then Brick City Health and Fitness Center in Pine Place, Ocala is the place for you. Check out our new functional fitness classes and room, ample cardio and weights, personal and group training, and our healthy cafe. For more information, stop by or call Brick City Health and Fitness 509-3133. And this month there's an added bonus. Come by and register for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Firecracker 250 on Friday, July 5th, and 2 tickets to the Coke Zero 400 on Saturday, July 6th. Enter to win today and you could be going down to Daytona.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Eat fresh and local and grow or gather what you can. Planting and harvesting a garden is good exercise. It also gets you out in the sun, which lowers rates of depression. The children who learn to swim at an early age hit certain physical and developmental milestones faster than kids who learned later in life. The sleep hormone melatonin also acts as a powerful antioxidant. It will repair damage at the cellular level as long as you get the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night.
The John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live? That's right. No tape shows here. We know that the news doesn't sleep. And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara. And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment. Right here on WOCA The Source.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space.
All right, welcome back to WrestleMania. I don't know what you call this. I got 2 people in the studio. Well, a third actually behind him, but 2 people in the studio. One person who is a national, international hero, well-known figure. Guy that everybody knows who he is, and it's not George Albright, okay? It's Dory Funk Jr. who joins us on the program, along with the taxman himself, George the Taxman Albright. Let's all boo right now. Boo! I got that from his dad, because his dad actually did that one time to me. So good to have you, gentlemen. Thanks for coming in today, and thanks to Brad Dinkins, and nice to meet you, Dory.
Hey, I want to thank Brad Dinkins and you guys and everybody that's getting behind Helping Hands here in Ocala, Florida. And we're going to do it with a great professional wrestling show. And I can promise you everybody's going to go full speed ahead and put on one heck of a show.
Well, I just hope you do him in real quick, get it over with, and spare him the pain, because, you know, he's serious. Look at this. If people could see him, hopefully the webcam's working now. My cousin, although he doesn't claim it because I'm a raging moderate, my cousin, it looks like the Green Hornet, George Albright, ready to take his punishment as George the Taxman Albright in the big pro wrestling event, the charity for Helping Hands, coming up soon. We're going to tell you about that. It's on Saturday, June 29th. George, have you lost your mind?
Well, yeah, number one, of course. Having said that, buddy, let George, the some serious one, be here for just a second, then we'll go back to the wrestling, George. But I greatly admire what Brad Dinkins and his group are doing to help displaced and abused women and children. And he doesn't have to do this economically. He chooses to do this with his life. And when he asked me to help that cause, this was the least I could do. So, there's a saying, yours is the hands of Christ, and this is what I was led to do. I was asked,
And because of all the time and effort Brad puts in it, it was the greatest of pleasure to accept it.
Let's get your microphone fixed so we have a little short out in your mic. And I'm with you on Christ, and I love him like you do. I'm not sure he had this outfit in mind for you though when he took this on. No.
Yeah. When Christ put this one from me, this one seems to have a lot of twists and turns. But sometimes there's sacrifice, right? So or sacrificial lambs, as the case may be.
And you're one.
Apparently, I am.
I'm thinking Dory. Thankfully, Dory's in a position in his life where he's a little kinder than he used to be. When he destroyed people, maybe he'll give you. Maybe he'll give you last rights before you get in the ring, but maybe he'll be a little kinder because I can tell you right now that just looking at you, I want to beat you up, okay?
I want to beat myself up.
Well, if I could, I'd just like to make a comment. I heard George, and I have all the respect in the world for him, too, because he's stepping in the ring for a really great cause. But I heard him say earlier that he was going to build his reputation as a professional wrestler in one night. And I just have to assume he's talking about building a reputation over me. And I tell you what, George, I've survived Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Jack Briscoe, Gene Kiniski, and a whole host of great wrestlers. And I'm still here. And I think you're going to have a reputation for having the shortest career in professional wrestling.
Throwing down the gauntlet and the trash talk has started officially. Dory Funk challenging George, predicting he'll have I sound like Gordon Sully. A short career will be ended in moments. George, do you want to respond to that?
Well, Dory's been in the ring with professional fighters that fight clean, but I'm a lawyer and a politician, and I'm going to throw down the I fight dirty gauntlet.
Oh, that.
You probably have the police on his side and everything.
Then if he doesn't beat you, he'll raise your taxes, so you can't win on that deal. So.
Yeah, I'll have everybody that's booing. I'm going to get their tax numbers for their houses. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there might be a little tax increase going on.
Let me just say this. Can I comment for a minute on George's outfit? Yeah, I hope we get a picture of that. Did we get a picture of that?
There's plenty of pictures.
Okay, good. It'll be on the Facebook page.
It will be.
Voice of Ocala. Because I want to know the inspiration for the green glasses, other than money.
Money. Well, I mean,
but why the green sunglasses?
Well, the whole tax collector thing.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, it's all the money. But the big bucks is being a world-class professional wrestler, and I make a good salary. But you know what? As a professional wrestler, I can make a great salary.
Great salary, and you can afford that wonderful necklace you got.
Well,
on,
absolutely.
Which, if I may describe it, is fake gold. It has a big dollar sign on it.
You just think it's fake.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's a good point.
Yeah, if I had it made gaudy to look fake.
Could we get Dory Funk to hit him now?
I don't know. If this is a good thing. You have insurance, George?
I don't need insurance, buddy. I'm in great shape, and I'm going to leave unscathed. So why would I need insurance?
I just want to say one thing. Other than his wife, George has nobody pulling for him in this match. I got to say, I'm not so sure about her.
She's not coming. She doesn't. She thought
she can't stand on the sight of blood.
Buddy, I think there's a city attorney that'll probably be pulling for George.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Man Gooding.
Yep.
The evil city attorney.
That's right. He's got a career in this, and he's been coaching me, including because you worked with him, Dory. He knows your weak spots. And
yes, he does. He knows
he's sharing them with me. So
he knows my weak spots for sure.
I'm going to exploit your soft underbelly, so to speak.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, now there are other people involved in this. I'm looking at this poster, and nobody's enjoying this more than Brad Dinkins right now, sitting back in the back. He's hoping they'll have a breakout right here. Something will happen. But we got a card here that has other people's names. I do not know Jessica Powerhouse Hill or Quentin Dropback Hitchcock.
Oh, you should know Quentin Dropback Hitchcock.
Yeah?
He was a quarterback here in Ocala, Florida.
Oh, okay.
He's outstanding, played in a state tournament.
He just graduated from Vanguard as their quarterback.
Yeah.
That's where I heard the name.
Yes.
The Dropback threw me, the nickname.
Yeah, Quentin is second.
2 years ago, the starter at Vanguard.
All of Quentin's records are second to Dante Culpepper.
Okay, then I know which one you're talking about. I thought he was like a professional wrestler or something. He is?
He's my partner, and he's going to.
Really?
He's going to get his hands on the tax man, George Albright.
George, you need to rethink that.
No. Listen, he's a kid. I told him that he might as well wear Depends and put on his baby diapers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
do you need a third partner,
Why would you
Dory?
send a kid in to fight a seasoned guy like me. I mean, you know.
Dory, do you need a third partner?
I've got a third partner.
Johnny Mangum, right?
Johnny Magnum.
Do you need a fourth partner?
Well, Jessica Powerhouse Hill is there, and on it is an intergender tag team match with
Hollywood Heather.
Hollywood Heather on the other side.
Hollywood is keeping me straight. She's going to make sure that she's easy on the eyes, and while all the guys are looking, that's when I'll make some of my dirty moves.
Distractions.
Oh, of course.
Distractions. Now, George, who do you have in your corner? Because you need some help. Jimmy Gooding's not enough.
Well, I've got Hollywood Heather and her group. And listen, I don't want to say this, but I guess I should. You know, because I got to go out and train with everybody. But he's got eight of the best wrestlers around. For real?
Dory does?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. We've got one kid on our side has just finished his training here at the Funky Conservatory Wrestling School where we are, and he has signed a contract with WWE, and he's going to be in our corner.
Cool. Talk for a minute about what you are doing. Just let's put George aside for a second. Let's talk about you.
We don't want to put George aside. But we do have some tremendous kids at the Funky Conservatory Wrestling School.
And so how many of you are going to have in WWE? You say you got one or two coming in now, or what?
We've got a couple of prospects that should be coming along soon.
Yeah.
They're quality talent like you would have at WWE.
Yeah.
And we've got one boy that's going to be in our corner who has already signed a contract. He's from Texas. His name is Corey Weston. And he's a super athlete. And WWE has picked up on him, and this will be his last appearance for us.
Yeah, well, that's good. Good and bad. Talk to me about you for a second. I've read about you, and I know people who've known you. I've heard you on radio, television. How did you get involved in wrestling?
Oh, my father was a professional wrestler.
Okay.
And
he was Dory Funk Sr., obviously.
Yes, Dory Funk Sr., and I was about 7 years old when I really wanted to go fishing, but he said, we got wrestling practice that you got to go to.
Now, was he Gorgeous George in his era? That was his era?
He did wrestle Gorgeous George.
Yeah.
In fact, he wrestled Gorgeous George in Amarillo, Texas, outdoors in the football stadium to a completely sold-out crowd. Gorgeous George was kind of the first, what you'd call bleach blonde, flamboyant, pretty boy.
Yeah.
Professional wrestler, and was extremely popular back in those days.
He was popular.
Yeah, very, very.
And who else was in that ilk, in that group of people besides your dad, Gorgeous George? Were there other people?
Luthez. Yeah.
Luthez.
You got to bring up Luthez. Fortunately, in my first year of professional wrestling, I had the opportunity to wrestle Luthez.
Yeah.
And that was a real proud time for me just to be in the ring with him.
There's a whole culture out there of wrestlers that some people don't know about. Tampa, of course, has much of that history around Tampa, Gordon Solly, all the things that happen down there. And it's amazing how many followers that you have from that era. And you had radio program. I think it may still be a show down in Tampa, wrestling show they have on Sunday nights. And it's phenomenal how that area right there has really kind of hung on to wrestling.
The man behind it was, and sometimes his name gets left out, Eddie Graham did a tremendous job here.
Yeah.
And he did a lot to bring credibility to professional wrestling, especially here in Florida with superstars like Dusty Rhodes on one side and Jack Briscoe, the great Jack Briscoe on the other side.
Yeah. You know Ric Flair very, very well? Ric Flair?
Oh, very, very well, yes.
He's a big Gator fan, Ric Flair is.
He is. I've seen him on the sidelines at Gator games.
Yeah. Who's your favorite among the young guys?
I really like Quentin Hitchcock.
Your guy.
Oh, my guy, yes.
Yeah. Anybody besides your guy that you say?
Corey Wild Weston, I like him too.
Okay,
and he's my guy.
all right, stick to your people. Right?
We have a girl named Hollywood Heather.
Yes, I see her right here. Other than that, you got nobody.
He's got 8 great people.
Oh, yeah. She's 6 feet, as she calls herself.
She's 6 feet?
6 feet of blonde perfection, yes.
I like that.
I want to ask you, Dory, the heyday of wrestling in the late 60s, early 70s, and the early 80s with Crockett Promotion and the Graham Promotion and everything. And now you have it so commercialized and so Hollywoodized. What do you see wrestling has become from where what's your opinion of where it is now versus where it came from?
It's only different. And the difference is because where in the old days it was a fabulous business, lots of families made a living as professional wrestlers, but it was localized television, or what we call regional television. So there were 30 different areas across the country. We used to say that there wasn't a town with that had 25,000 people that didn't have regularly scheduled wrestling matches. So it was regional television across the country. Now it's centralized television, nationwide television, headquartered out of New York, and Vince McMahon and WWE in the professional wrestling business. They are the movers. They are the power ones. They are the ones that everybody wants to work for. There are some other places that wrestling can be good, and that includes Japan, Mexico, a company called TNA, and but it's much more limited now than it was in the old days. There were lots of wrestlers, I mean really thousands, making a good living back in those days. Now it's down to the hundreds.
Making a lot of money.
But they're making even more.
Yeah. Now we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll set the stage for this big. We only got a couple of minutes, and we'll talk more about this big event. And, you know, there was one time, George, wrestling at the auditorium right here in Ocala. Used to have it back in the 40s.
Wrestling in Weirsdale Gym when I was a kid.
Really?
In the early
Okay.
60s.
There you go. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We'll hear more from Dory Funk Jr. and George Taxman Albright on their big match coming up.
That's the evil taxman.
The evil taxman. The evil taxman. Exactly. Evil taxman. Coming up on June 29th. We'll tell you about that at Hilton after this timeout on Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM.
96.3 FM. Streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and a coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class, or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi, Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robert and I will be speaking to Stacey A. Rowcliffe, completing her master's in clinical psychology. She's coming on to speak about her book, Female Fusion, Women, Different Flowers from the Same Garden.
Open for debate, where both sides of one issue will be debated.
And then Hank Whittier will be on the news, bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
And then let's talk golf with PGA professional and the Golf College founder, James R. Beckett.
And then the guys from Climate Control Mechanical Services will be on the air answering your questions about that device outside you call an air conditioner that keeps you cool during these hot summer days.
Dr. Ravi Sandrapati is a board-certified radiation oncologist. He serves on the item writing committee for the American Board of Radiology's written examinations, and he will be speaking to us about the Florida Regional Cancer Centers.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, call 804-3700.
Pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine featuring local businesses and issues and written by local volunteers. Lady Lake Magazine has become a must-read in Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties, audited by Circulation Verification Council and serving the area for 23 years. Plus, Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. All we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 352-804-1223 and pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
And if he happens to be free, I bet he wouldn't fancy me. That's too bad. So I must leave. I'll have to.
All right, welcome back to WrestleMania. Welcome back to the program called The Voice of Ocala. We're going to tell you about this big event coming up on the 29th at Hilton. And here to give us the info how to get tickets for this worthy cause for helping hands, Brad Dinkins. Hi, Brad.
Hey, buddy. Thank you so much for having us on today. And I'd like to thank Dory Funk and Marty Funk for coming to us a while back and offering to do this charity event for us, bringing over 50 years of experience in the ring with them. And George Albright, I'd like to thank him so much for lowering himself to the level of helping us out in this event, the evil tax man. Also, right now I'd like to extend an invitation to everybody that's listening to come out to the event. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Saturday, June 29th at the Hilton. You will never forget what you'll see. You'll never forget what you'll hear. You'll never forget what's gonna happen out there that night. Now, if you want tickets, we still have some ringside tickets left. We have some preferred seating tickets left. General admission right now is $20. On the day of the event, it goes up to $25. Website, helpinghandsocala.org, or you can buy tickets at the Hilton, Pasture Sports Shop, or Dinkins Realty.
All right, thank you, Brad. Appreciate it. Real quick, we got time to lay down the strategy. What's it going to be? Just let us know right now. What are you going to do to stop George, the evil tax man? Dory, how are you going to handle this?
Well, we're a team. I've got some great partners in Johnny Magnum and Jessica Powerhouse Hill and Quentin Hitchcock. And I think we're going to work together, and I'm not sure how well George is going to get along with his teammates. He's got Romero Youngblood, Ryan the Rogue Passmore, and the controversial Hollywood Heather.
So what I'm hearing, you're predicting chaos for that side. You're going to play a mind game with the Albright side. And you think they'll have chaos on their side in their ring?
Oh, we're going to play a physical game with Albright's side. That's where it's going to go.
George, there you go. You got 40 seconds to respond. Talk is cheap. Let's go.
Let me tell you something. When I come into the room, those kids are going to scatter. If you add all 8 of them up, they still isn't my age. That's how young they are. We're just dealing with a bunch of juveniles. And they're going to learn something. And I just think my persona is going to send so much fear in those kids that they're just going to fall apart. And I got a few things up my sleeve. Being the evil politician and the lawyer that I am, I'll be loaded for bear.
So you think I hear what you hear. Intimidation is going to be what it is, right? Intimidation.
That's right. That's part of it. Absolutely.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I wish you luck. And Dory, take him out in the first 60 seconds or so.
Oh, I'm going to go for it.
All right.
You can bet on that.
Thank you both for coming in today. And good luck. This is a great event. Don't forget, Ocala Hilton, Saturday, June 29th. Check it out. It's called Pro Wrestling, the Helping Hands event. So I'm Buddy Martin. The program is called The Voice of Ocala. Back after this timeout on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mama who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Universal Soil Solutions has arrived. On Monday, June 24th, we will bring remediation through education to Marion County. Located in the Paddock Mall Center Court, our staff is ready to make clear the entire sinkhole process. Remediation of your property is a major undertaking. Be smart. Get educated. Know what it takes to repair your structure. Doing so significantly reduces the toll this process can have on both property and property owner alike. We are your sinkhole solution. Universal Soil Solutions, where integrity meets trust. Stop by and meet our staff or call us at 877-519-2777.
You know what a photobomb is, right? It's when you take a photo of someone and someone else suddenly thrusts themselves into the photo. It's supposed to be funny and ruin the picture, but sometimes it actually makes a better photo, a better end result. Well, that's what happened to me at Kenny's Place Nursery. Well, sort of. I was looking at some flowers when these caladiums caught my eye. It was like being photobombed by a plant. Well, it worked. The caladiums from Kenny's Place Nursery now sit beautifully in my garden with my floral plants. And if the wind is blowing just right, you might find yourself taking a photo of a rose and get photobombed by one of those caladiums. Kenny's Place has caladiums in a variety of colors, and the 1 gallon size is only $3.50. Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. Kenny's Place Nursery, where the plants, the people, and the mission are all beautiful.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source. Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Kids don't need permission from their doctors to go outside for recess, and the American Medical Association says they shouldn't need a note to protect themselves from the sun. It wants schools to allow kids to carry sunscreen with them and to apply it throughout the day. If you're looking for a job, you might be encouraged by what Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke said today about unemployment. He expects it to go as low as 7.2% this year, but he says that still is way too high. Another Jeep Liberty recall, but this time it's strollers, not cars. Coalcraft is recalling almost 100,000 of them after at least 18 people were injured by tire blowouts. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the inner tube can rupture, and that could cause the wheel rim to break off and become a projectile. Want to bump up your frequent flyer status? If United is your preferred airline, you better spend a lot of time on a plane. The carrier's Mileage Plus status used to require flying 25,000 miles a year. Now you have to spend 25,000 too. ABC News.
Hey folks, Jay Farner here, president of Quicken Loans. Right now, the rates on a 30-year mortgage are among the lowest that we've seen in decades. So we asked ourselves, what could be more perfect than that? Then we came up with the answer, the Amazing 10 Mortgage, exclusively from Quicken Loans. You see, with our Amazing 10 Mortgage, you get the best of both worlds. It has a low initial rate for the first 10 years, and it's a 30-year term. After the first 10 years, the rate may change once per year. It's perfect. The Amazing 10 Mortgage lets you take advantage of a super low mortgage rate for the first 10 years, one entire decade, till the year 2023. Today's super low initial rate on our Amazing 10 Mortgage is all the way down to 2.99%. APR 3.22%. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN. Or visit us at QuickenLoans.com. The Amazing 10 Mortgage. One more way we're engineered to amaze.
Adjustable rate subject to change. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 33rd.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry. We didn't leave you.
He's gone. He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
All right, welcome back to the program. That's a fun segment. If you missed it, we'll try to replay parts of it later in the week. Dory Funk Jr. here with George, the evil tax man Albright. A lot of fun. Good cause. Good cause for Helping Hands. And I know some of you folks, I'm told there are a couple of ringside seats available, not many. And we'll try to keep you up to date on what's happening because it is a wonderful cause and it's going to be a lot of fun. So check it out. If you need to know more information, go to Helping Hands. ocala.org, and they'll give you the information on ticket availability, et cetera, et cetera. Coming up in this hour, we're going to be talking about some good animals, the animal people, the good people who are taking care of our animals here in this community. And I'm an animal lover. I have a dog. JJ, you got a dog.
Correct. I also have a cat, buddy.
Yeah, you have a dog and a cat. And
a monkey.
I like the fact that the Bruce Fishlow coming in, they have a no-kill shelter. I think that's important. It breaks my heart to know that thousands of animals get executed every day. You know what I mean?
I think it's something that's got to happen, though.
I don't think so. I think they're proving that it doesn't have to happen. If through spaying and taking care of things and making sure that and having animals adopted, and especially the ones that are abused. The
problem is the ones that don't get adopted, though.
What's better though? I mean, the fact is that what can you do? Well, you can get a dog or a cat or whatever. I mean, the fact is we have to make an effort. And the fact that it's a no-kill shelter, I like that. You have to have that intent going in, that you're going to do your best that you can to keep these animals from being executed. So anyway, Bruce will tell you about that. They do a great job. They don't ask for a lot of government money to do it with, and we'll talk to you about what's going on with it. And we'll address that issue if you like when Bruce comes in. At 4:30, one of our favorite guys, Jeff Halcomb. I call him the czar of the water department. Jeff is, I guess he's director of water and sewer. I forget his long title. It changes all the time. And we'll find out what's happening in the water situation because it's been kind of quiet. The Adena Springs thing has been kind of quiet. We haven't heard much about it. There's been really no reports in the news about Frank Stronach, what he's planning to do, other than the fact that last we heard he was going to be building satellites, ranches around here. Silver Springs is still on the table. I know you went there, JJ, over the weekend. You were kind of upset about what you saw, but there are things going on there. I'm told they're making it better, and it's going to take a while. But the money's being put out there, and of course, you were surprised to know the animals were gone. We've been talking about that all year, the fact that they took the animals out first thing. And it remains to be seen exactly what's going to happen, what's going to, the state's running as a park. The details have not been released. We had Stan McClain on the program. We had several people on the program talking about the parks and the things they're doing with parks and how they're run and how what we'd like to see. And we're told there's been a local person picked to manage concessions. I'm not sure what that means exactly. But the whole issue around water, and in Daniel Owen, who was on here yesterday, Silver Springs is such an important thing to our community and our state, by the way. And besides that, it's just the right thing to do to take care of it. Because, it's our responsibility to keep this planet alive and not let beautiful places like Silver Springs become extinct. But it's a very important thing to do, and it's also a huge economic engine. I have to stop and say, not to say anything bad about my new neighbor, Kevin Shealy, because he's doing a great job as the head of the Chamber Partnership. Talking about starting businesses. What business could be better than cranking Silver Springs up again? You immediately can employ a number of people here locally, generate a stimulus to the economy. The outlying area would immediately begin to perk up. There's already been a taxing district, a CRA, assigned to the physical presence of Silver Springs. And this could really jumpstart our economy as we're going into this, out of this great recession phase into hopefully some stability, although I see today that the Fed announced it would continue with the stimulus program. The stock market immediately went down. So it's so important, this Silver Springs component. And again, talking about business and talking about Marion County, Ocala 489, the downtown area, on, IHMC. We've got a lot of good things going on. We can't lose our momentum coming out of this terrible recession that we've had, and we've got a head of steam. Let's not lose it. So I'm hopeful that, and a lot of it revolves around water, and that's how I brought it up, because Jeff Halcomb will be here with us a little bit later on to talk about that. We got tweets and quotes. In fact, JJ, let's fire it up now, because we're going to have a busy time, and then we're going to have guests coming out. Let's go ahead and do our tweets and quotes for the day. We'll be followed by our next guest, Bruce Fisherlow. Number one, this isn't just another day, another dollar. It's more like another day, another miracle. Victoria Moran said that. Albert Einstein. Good advice here. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And finally, the funny man with a cigar, Groucho Marx. I never forget a face, but in your case, I'll be glad to make an exception.
Sounds like that, what was that klepto thing you were talking about? That sounds like something you'd say to me and say it was yours.
Well, I mean, I could take credit for that. I wouldn't have a problem with it. By the way, I talk about sunglasses. This picture of Jimmy Gooding is
that not great?
The sunglasses are just awful.
Look, I just had to break them. They almost went at it right out there in the lobby.
Yeah?
The tax man kept doing that evil mouth running, and they about went at it right there in the lobby.
Well, Dory's very patient. He wasn't that patient when he wrestled, I don't think.
No. But he was trying to be patient. We were trying to separate him, get him out in different.
Well, things. George can get under your skin.
Hunter got caught in the middle of it. It was quite the incident out there.
Well,
they got a lot to settle, I guess.
Here's the thing: Jimmy Gooding's just going to make it worse.
He's only going to stoke the fire.
He's going to stir the pot, and and then Albright's going to do something stupid, and Dory Funk's just going to take him out, and that'll be it.
And it's going to get. Jimmy Gooding's going to do something that's going to get George Albright beat
in trouble. Yeah. The thing about it is there'll be 2 jobs open. I mean, tax man job will be open, and there's city attorney. So something happens to them. That's just how it goes. Somebody wants their jobs. Is this going to replay someplace people want to know? Is this last segment?
Yeah, the last segment will be. We're actually going to make it into a podcast that you can find on our podcast page.
Not the video, the audio.
The audio will play there. Mm-hmm. You can go to WOCA.com, click on your picture, and then click on the podcast thing. That'll be available tomorrow. And tomorrow also on YouTube, you put in WOCA on YouTube and go to Voice of Ocala for this date, and there you'll be, and the entire show will replay so they can get the video of what just took place in the studio.
Okay.
All that'll be ready tomorrow on Facebook and on
get as many
WOCA.com.
pictures of George Albright as you can now, so you can
we've got
remember him
those
like he
pictures
used
up on
to be.
Facebook right now.
Yeah, because here he's trying to get his game face on.
You can go to the Voice of Ocala Facebook page right now.
Yeah,
and see the pictures.
It's
the
ugly.
Still pictures.
It's ugly.
It's not a pretty thing.
The one word I think of with George and his outfit is tacky. It's just tacky. It's all there is to it. The green cape and the green glasses.
Does Jimmy Gooding have a bowling pin in his hand in that photo?
You mean in his shirt?
That looks like a bowling pin right there.
Could be.
I think with those glasses and that bowling pin, I
don't know.
Wow.
It's up to no good, I can tell you that. We'll take a break, come back, we'll talk to Bruce Fischlow from the Humane Society. Catch up with him on the show called The Voice of Ocala right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. These glasses really do look dumb.
They do.
The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless the recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
1370 WOCA. In Clark, we trust.
Hi, this is Clark Howard. Join me every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
This is Don with ABC Frederick's Appliance. Here's my daughter, Lena.
And hey everybody, it's Lena. You need to come down to ABC Frederick's Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue, where you are treated right with the right products like Whirlpool, Maytag, Crosley, and Speed Queen. These are the new ones. Don't forget, we also carry used appliances that we warranty. ABC Frederick's Appliance does repairs too. Call us at 629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue. It's at 629-5181.
Hey, I didn't know it rained last night.
Oh, it didn't. Why do you say that?
Because little Johnny's in the backyard playing in that big mud puddle.
Did you leave the hose on?
No, the neighbor borrowed it yesterday.
Wait, is that the side where the septic...
Johnny, get out of there!
Having septic problems? At Mike Scott Plumbing, we can make those septic worries disappear. We can pump your septic tank, repair your drain field, and, if needed, even install a whole new system. At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't take crap from anyone. We take it from everyone. 237-2888. Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
I'm heading down to Daytona, where it all begins.
Hear that? You could be going down to Daytona for the hottest races this summer.
The track is really fast.
The Firecracker 250 on Friday, July 5th, and the Coke Zero 400 Saturday, July 6th.
Start the season even.
And all you have to do is register for your chance to win at the following locations. Baseline Auto Sales, 2501 Southeast 58th Avenue on Baseline Road. Brick City Health and Fitness in the Pine Plaza on South Pine. And at the home games for the Ocala Stampede played at Trinity Catholic. Each sponsor will have 2 tickets for each race, and the drawings will be held Friday, June 28th. There's no obligation to enter, so you don't need to be present to win. And enter as often as you'd like. You're always a winner with WOCA The Source, and you could be...
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA studios with this news break brought to you by the Country Club of Ocala. Money from the future lease of Monroe Regional Medical Center won't likely be available to help community health care programs for at least a year. That was the conclusion of Marion County Hospital District trustees and most county commissioners after the 2 groups met Wednesday. Trustees and commissioners alike agreed that's how long it will take before the hospital district formulates a spending plan that reflects the health care needs of the county, according to Ocala.com. This news break was brought to you by the Country Club of Ocala. If you would like to schedule a special event at one of Ocala's premier facilities, call 237-6644 today. We're back on the Voice of Ocala, hour number 2. Second segment, joined by Bruce Fischelo of the Marion County Humane Society. Bruce, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Tom?
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, full disclosure, I am an adopter at the Marion County Humane Society. Yes. I do a lot of work, DJ work and all for your events and everything. I'm kind of partial to the Humane Society, just being honest with everybody.
Well, we appreciate that, and we know that, Tom. Thank you very much.
So, with that being said, you have a big event coming up for the Humane Society that is kind of special to the Humane Society. What is this event?
Well, this is the 5th year, Dog Days of Summer and Cats Too, and we try to do it on the first weekend of summer, which will be this Friday night, and it's at the Municipal Golf Course. And it's a big cookout and a big party, thanking everybody, and we call it a friend raiser.
And it really is, and there'll be. I've attended this a couple times, and it's just a nice meet and greet with the people who run the Humane Society, some of the animals of the Humane Society, and this is a big fundraiser for you because people may not know this. You operate on donations.
Well, we operate solely on donations. We receive no government money at all. It's 100% donations from people, like that are listening right now, and people like you, Tom, adopters. So, I mean, it's a community facility, meaning the community makes it happen, and we have a special facility. It really is something.
You sure do, Bruce, and it's good to have you back on the show again. And I know that
hey, buddy.
You do some great things out there. The process itself, although it seems like it's so easy to understand, may not be understandable for some people. And I think you should walk them through. If you have an animal, if I want to rescue a dog,
Okay.
Okay. What do I have to do? Nobody, you just can't walk in and get a dog and walk home. You have to qualify certain qualifications. Obviously, you're going to make your adopters have to pass a certain criteria. But by the same token, you have plenty of animals for adoption. So tell me how I can get a dog and what I have to do.
Well, it's some people say they didn't have this much trouble buying a house or buying a car, because what we want to do is we want to qualify our people, and qualifying our people is we want our pets to go to homes that are forever loving homes. And so we're going to ask questions that will see if we think the home is a proper home. You want me to give you a few examples?
Sure.
Well, if it's a large dog with a lot of energy, a small apartment would not be appropriate for that dog, because that dog needs space to run and go in and out. If a person says, well, I need a guard dog, well, I'm sorry, they can't come to the Humane Society, because we are not going to supply a dog that is strictly used for guarding a house. Now, we know dogs will get possessive, but it's not like the dog's outside guarding the house. So things like that are important.
Yeah, and so you school them, and you have obedience classes. I know you too, that you walk them through. You have to train the people, not the dogs.
We have to train the people, not the dogs. Exactly. I mean, as being executive director for almost 6 years now, I mean, most of the problems are not related to the animals. I mean, we've got a system that runs pretty well now. And let me give you one compliment that we had. University of Florida brought in a behavioralist. They bring in once a week to teach their senior vet students. And she heard about our shelter, and she came and she saw our open cat rooms, and she saw our dogs in play groups out in yards. And she said, sheltering is moving in the direction where you already are. So that's a pretty darn good compliment there.
And you have been ahead of the curve a lot of things. I know you're no-kill.
We're no-kill.
And people don't understand that. It's not easy to maintain that. JJ and I were having a conversation earlier before you got it. JJ is a new dog owner, and he's going to, I guess you're still going to class with your dog. And we're talking about...
Yeah, Duke is very inobedient.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, it's his owner.
It's his owner, right. Exactly.
I know his owner really well. So, but... my point is that explaining the no-kill shelter, people will say, well, why do you do that? How could you possibly save all those animals?
Well, it's an art. I mean, it's not a science. And I go to different conventions or meetings, and some people say, oh, it won't last. You can't carry on being a no-kill shelter. Yeah. But, I mean, we have done it, and we are carrying it on. And what you have to, you make the good adoptions, which we talked about, but we save about 1,700, 1,800 animals a year, all kinds of cats and dogs, every type imaginable. Tom can tell you, we got a beautiful one
that I took almost the same day.
Well, same day he did take it. So I mean, he scarfed
Buddy
it out.
knows about Irk. I
named Irk. Actually.
Yeah, Buddy named the dog.
Yeah. After what, Irk Russell, your coach?
Yeah.
I mean, a beautiful dog, and Tom came in at exactly the right moment.
Mine had just passed away.
Exactly. I mean, it was perfect timing. But, I mean, unfortunately and sadly, we can't take every animal, because if a person has let's say, for example, a very aggressive animal, how can we take that animal and adopt it out into the public when, look at the liability involved when we knew the animal was aggressive. So we have to do an intake screening process. And we've been successful at it, and it's worked for 6 years, and I hope it worked for 60 more.
I think it's awesome. Congratulations.
Now, people say you said you adopt 1,700 or 1,800 animals a year out.
Yes.
And you have this large facility, and it is a large facility.
Yes.
And you're nonprofit, and you rely completely on donations of people.
Yes.
How in the world do you stay in business? And I know how you do it. Talk about the importance of your volunteers.
Well, Jerry, well, maybe Jerry can get on the radio right after me and after a commercial break or something. She's my volunteer coordinator, Jerry Brent. And volunteers always play an important role in any nonprofit. With us, for example, dogs come in, and dogs have to be socialized immediately. I mean, think of it, that their lives are completely in upheaval, and then they're put in a cage. Maybe they haven't been in a kennel, or it's a cage to them their whole life, and then all of a sudden that dog is in new surroundings. So volunteers help socialize that animal and bring it out of a shell, because they naturally, a lot of them go into a shell immediately. And the same thing with cats. We've got a wonderful cat facility with open cat rooms, and volunteers go in there and socialize the cats.
Actually, we're going to have to get Jerry on right now because we got a guest coming at 4:30, and let's get her on Tom's mic real quick. Yeah. Let her give a little bit of a scenario about the volunteer work she does, and Jerry, sit down and give us the information, and if you will, Jerry, we'll try to get this on before we go to break. And just to pull up, how you doing? Just pull that microphone up to you, pull yourself up to it.
Okay.
It tends to fall down, so it's. Well, first of all, welcome to the show, and
thank you.
And give us a quick scenario about volunteers. How can you become a volunteer at the Humane Society?
We've tried to keep the process as simple as possible. We've just recently revamped the whole program to make it easier for people to volunteer and to make them feel recognized for volunteering, because we really do need them very much. So on our website, we have a volunteer application.
And what is your website?
www.humanesocietyofmarioncounty.com. Okay. We have the volunteer application. We have a list of position descriptions that lists all of the different opportunities that are available to them. And there are a lot of things that they can do at home. There are a lot of things they don't even have to come into the shelter to do. And there are a lot of things that they don't think are helpful that really are, such as playing with the cats. You would think that's just a fun thing to do, but it actually helps the cats tremendously.
Part of the rehabilitation, I'm sure.
Exactly. And then we have a volunteer orientation twice a month at different times of the day to meet their schedules. And we make sure they understand everything about the shelter. We do specialized training after the general orientation to teach them about dogs and about cats and how to handle them so that they stay safe. So it's a very comprehensive program. Once they fill in the application and go through the orientation, they're free to come to the shelter whenever they want.
All right, great, Jerry. And by the way, I have one more question for you. Tell me the event again.
The event is Dog Days of Summer and Cats 2 this Friday night at the Municipal Golf Course on East Silver Springs Boulevard. It's only $25 a ticket. We're pricing it so everybody can come, and it's our friend raiser. We want to raise friends for the Humane Society, and that's why we keep the ticket price very low. It's a very good time.
Great. Now tell me this before you go. Who's the best dog whisperer you know?
Who is
the best dog whisperer? Do you know anybody like that? Because I mean, you read about them, hear about them. The horse whisperers, the dog. Who can talk to the animals the best that you know?
I've got some people on my staff. I mean,
like what do they do?
They just the number one thing to be a good dog whisperer is to show no fear. And you can't teach that, and dogs can sense if you have fear. And if you have no fear, you can make a bond. And I have seen some of my people 5 feet tall can go in there with a dog that's almost as big as them, and the dog is just putty in their hands. So I've got many staff members. I don't want to name one because then the others will say, why didn't you pick me? I have some excellent dog whisperers at our shelter.
Yeah, and they know how to do it for sure. And all right, thank you very much, Bruce Fishlow, Jerry, for coming in. Good luck to you on your event on Friday night. Keep up the good work, and we're rooting for you out there. And I hope you continue that no-kill thing as long as you possibly
Buddy,
can.
I'm doing the music Friday night, so you're going to be there dancing.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, I'll be dancing. Yeah.
Well, I'll see both of you there Friday night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Bye.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Bruce. All right, coming up next, we've got the Waterman. We got the Tax Man. We got the Waterman, and we got the Dog Man, and now we got the Waterman coming up.
The Waterman just told me a funny story about how one of the water people visited him to tell him how good his water was, and his wife was like, honey, I need you up front. The water guy's here.
Uh-oh. There you go. Okay, we'll take a break next. We got coming up on our program, Jeff Halcomb. We'll talk a little about, I'm sure a lot of things coming up with Jeff next right here on The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com, The Source. This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
What amount of that money goes right back to the department, and if not, where does it go? And does each department have like a quota of fines that they have to have every month to keep the budget alive?
We don't do quotas. There's a lot of structure in those fines. A lot of it goes to the state. I couldn't give you the percentages, but none of the money actually comes back to the police department for the general fund, the general funding of the department. We do get, I believe it's $4 a citation into a training fund that we're allowed to use. It's called our second dollar training fund that we can use to send sworn police officers to specific training classes, and I'm pretty sure that's the same with the sheriff's office. I'm not sure if they get any of the funding for their general budget, but we don't get any of that money.
Right, and on as far as sheriff's office is concerned, absolutely no quota. It's at the discretion of the officers out there as they do their routine patrol, as far as writing citations.
Is your over a strikeout? Strike one.
It's embarrassing to drive.
Strike two.
It costs too much to maintain.
Strike three.
You owe more than it's worth.
You're out of there.
Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. I'm celebrating two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and driving.
So this week you can hit a grand slam.
I'm giving you a ton of cash off a nicer, newer car you'll love to drive.
Are you riding the bench because of bad credit? Our For the People credit approval process goes to bat with the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game.
Join the major leagues and start driving a car you love.
Come see us during our Drive It Out of the Park event and get a ton of cash off a new ride.
Hurry, this game isn't going into extra innings. The stadium goes black after we've helped 57 people score a new ride. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige in Ocala or Bellevue, or call 694-1234. Sierra Prestige.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Stacey A. Rowcliffe, completing her master's in clinical psychology. She's coming on to speak about her book, Female Fusion, Women, Different Flowers from the Same Garden.
Open for debate, where both sides of one issue will be debated.
And then Hank Whittier will be on the news, bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
And then Let's Talk Golf with PGA professional and the Golf College founder, James R. Beckett.
And then the guys from Climate Control Mechanical Services will be on the air answering your questions about that device outside you call an air conditioner that keeps you cool during these hot summer days.
Dr. Ravi Sandrapati is a board-certified radiation oncologist. He serves on the item writing committee for the American Board of Radiology's written examinations, and he will be speaking to us about the Florida Regional Cancer Centers.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
Cookies, 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 cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order.
Cookies, cookies,
Yum.
cookies, cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
The Great American Cookie Company.
Call me crazy. Some people say insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. I think insanity is 1,000 single-sided, full-color business cards for $15, or packing service for 50% off. Call me crazy. Regency Printing, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Look for the L signs.
Every now and then when he's not drilling a well or he's not fishing someplace or not doing some project involved in and securing better water for our community. He drops by the show again. He's a friend of the show, a guy that we love having on, Jeff Halcomb, who is, by the way, I'm just suspending all titles. I'm going with Water Czar, okay? That's what I'm going with. So,
great.
I mean, if your bosses don't like it, too bad. You're Water Czar to me. Jeff, how you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Always fun to have you on because you have some interesting stuff to talk about, and we have a good time besides that. But catch me up right off the bat on what you know about the current situation. I don't know anything. I haven't heard from Frank. I haven't heard about Frank Stronach. I don't know anything about what he's doing. I don't know anything about Silver Springs. I know this is not your job, but you're a water guy. What's the latest you hear about all that stuff? Adena Springs, Silver Springs, etc.
Actually, as a matter of fact, yesterday I was talking to the district on some other issues that are going on in Ocala, and they had shown me on their website. Anybody can go to the St. Johns River Water Management website, and they were talking about Adena Springs on the website, and they had said that there were some questions that the district still has, so they asked Adena Springs for another RAI, and that's a request for additional information is what that means. And so that's the stage they're in. I believe when they do that, they've got I think they've got 30 days or 60 days to respond, and the district, or 90 days to respond, and the district has 30 days to respond. So we're still out of a few months, I'd say.
I don't know who you. I know Fred Roberts Jr. was on, I believe, that board at one point. Is he on it still? St. John's Water District.
Yes, one of the Roberts is on.
Yeah,
there.
It's Fred Roberts Jr. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know if you talked to him or knew about him anyway. So. Anyway, that issue is still going. I understand, they're doing some things at the springs. I have not been out there. Have you been out there recently?
I haven't been out there in a while, no.
Yeah, and JJ was out there the other day, and that was kind of a mess. But I guess we're going to go through that transitional period and until we get to a point where we can. We're supposed to be taking it over in September, I believe it is. So the state's taking it over and make a park out of it, and I think what they've decided is just to have a la carte on the attractions, and then you put $8 to park and what have you. So, but anyway, with that, talk to me about water. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I have to get a plug in for Mark Emery. Did you see Animal Planet last night?
I didn't.
On Animal Planet, they got a great show on there. It's called I think it's North America.
Uh-huh.
And Mark Emery was on there, and he had some guys, I think it was from out of the country, but they were doing this show called North America, and Mark Emery had brought this guy to Silver Springs. And it was the day, I don't remember if I told you, one of the times I was here, we saw about 5 manatee come up the up the Ocala River. Well, I don't know, he must have been on the same river that day that we were there, because in the show, they showed those 5 manatee coming up the Silver River. So that I was glad to see, because I didn't know if they made it. We saw them in the Ocklawaha, so I wasn't sure if they made it up to the Silver River, but they did. And it was kind of interesting because while they were filming that, this big 9-foot alligator decided he wanted to come up for a little closer look. And the cameraman was with Mark Emery, got one of his fins. He got some marks from the teeth of that gator on there. So that was a pretty good show. But it was good to see Mark still doing his thing.
Does some great work. He's in Alaska now. I guess he went up there. I believe he's still up there as far as I know. I'm sure he is. In June he's usually gone. And his stuff pops up. He's had several pieces I have seen, the deer piece and stuff he's done.
Yes.
And just a genius, I think, and a real gift to us and to our environment and all the things he does with animals. So, no, I didn't know that. I wonder if I'd probably replay. I'd check it out.
I'm sure it will be. But you know what I noticed most of all is that guy, I've never seen anybody so comfortable with about being able to talk about the springs and being able to talk about the water, and you could tell that he definitely cares about it. So that was really good.
His passion is remarkable.
Yeah.
And we can't take these things for granted.
That's right.
The heart in what we do here, the people who genuinely love this land and love the people in this land and the animals in this land, their emotions run so deep. They're so committed, and we need to treasure those people because they really are important to our community.
Absolutely, and I think one of the biggest things is that we're at a crossroads now, I feel like, in conservation and what we're going to do in our country, let alone what we're going to do in the world. But, getting back to your original question, you asked, what's going on in water? Well, I think it's real important to understand. I don't know, there was an article in the newspaper that Sue Carr had come and talked to me about, and it had to do with, what we were doing with wastewater.
Right.
And some of those things we always end up, always circles back around. Always I end up talking about water too. But one of the things that we also have to be very particular in is when we're looking for a nitrate source, and is that the nitrates. There are a lot of people will say that are high or too high in the Silver Springs, but there's a lot of other things that we've got to be particularly care of when we're looking for our water source, and that is, what kind of contamination could be in the water. So one of the things the city's done for as long as probably since 1985, I know they have, but probably before that, they have looking at this thing. It's called a PWWP. It's Potable Water Well Protection Program. And so what that is basically that we have a modeling process that goes through where we model how the water gets to our well field. And from that, we go and look at contamination sources. And it might be some people, when they have used oil, they'll take that used oil and they'll run it down the fence row, to kill off the grass and all that kind of stuff. Well, that is potentially a source that could get into our drinking water. And there's a lot of other sources. So the city has been doing it for quite a long time. They have a compliance monitoring program that looks at that PWWP program, also looks at fats, oil, and greases. We call it a FOG program, to ensure that we have a minimum amount of waste products that we have to treat. And more importantly, they're not heavy metals and they're not sources that we can't treat, and so they end up getting into aquifer. So those are some of the things that we work on the wastewater side to ensure that our water side is really good.
Now, we don't have, I don't think, as much industrial waste as we used to have in the 60s and the 70s, whereas, in some places in this country, rivers were on fire, in Virginia. But is that a source of contamination? Do we have industrial waste here that gets into our water supply?
That's a great question, and one that I don't know if we have enough time to answer today. Because
how about just yes or no?
There are things in the water, or things in our ground that we should be concerned with.
Okay.
One of the most, I was really glad to see that our legislative agenda included that this year. They started to fund back in a program where they're going to take care of leaky gas tanks. They had not done that for a long time. They had quit funding that. And actually, I'd done some research on why they quit funding it, and it was because there was people that were purposely doing some bad things, let's just say that, and so they can get some of that funding. So it's back in the process now, so that some of the leaky gas tanks in or around, if you looked at Ocala, over the years, there's probably been hundreds of those gas tanks that have been buried. There's been a lot of it been cleaned up. There's probably still a lot more that needs to be cleaned up. So I was glad that they're funding that. That was real good. So yes, there are some sources that are probably still in there that we got to be careful of and how we treat them in the future. Like when we dig and do excavations, there were some the issues you heard about. I'm sure that's all in the paper about the Open Arms Village.
Yes.
Well, one of the contamination sources they were worried about in Open Arms Village is that because there was a gas station on that crazy corner up there on 35th. Yeah. So they were looking at that.
We have those all over. We have on the boulevard. And I wondered if the EPA required them to clean that up.
They did do some. The city did do quite a bit of cleanup, or asked them to do a lot of cleanup.
The EPA itself should require the owner.
You're absolutely right. There should be some processes that never allow that to happen. Yeah. When a gas station closes or a place like that closes, there should be some things in place that there's an automatic cleanup process that goes on.
It's certainly true. Well, Jeff Halcomb is our guest talking about water and environment. And okay, I got a question to ask you. We probably can't get it all in this time. I want to ask. This is kind of a conspiratorial question, one that you may not have ever had to deal with. I'm just interested to know about this, and if we have time in this segment, we may have to break it up in two parts. But with all the issues of terrorism we have, everybody is concerned about, obviously what happened in Boston, etc. It does seem, I'm sure this is not news to you, that the water supply is one of the most vulnerable things that we have in terms of people getting to us and perhaps poisoning us or whatever. I know you've been to seminars on it. I'm sure you've talked about it ad nauseum, but we've never addressed it on this show. Without giving away trade secrets, can you share a little information about how I can feel pretty good about my water at home and I don't have to worry about that?
I love you, but I'm not going to say a thing about that. I can tell you that there are things that we do every day, and there are things that we plan every day. And what is the shame about it is that Ocala has to do that.
Yeah.
And we do that because we want to ensure that our water quality is maintained. But it's just a shame that we have to do those things.
Yeah, and it's a shame we have to go to the airport and be frisked. It's
Yes.
a shame we have to go downtown and walk by a place where we had a triple murder 3 weeks ago. That's all of reality that we're dealing with today, though. And it just struck me as something I thought, I've never heard anybody talk about that, at least not locally. And I just wondered, I knew you were on it, and I know you had dealt with it, and I just wondered if there's, I don't know why. I just wanted to know what it was like.
I just can say to you this, that there are things that we do every day to ensure that our quality of the water is good. And one of the things that we also do in the city is that I know a lot of people, a lot of businesses probably hate them, is that when you see the backflow preventer sticking out of the ground, those backflow preventers are to prevent backflow. They're also a measure of certainty that allows us to know that somebody can't do something, push water back in a system from those backflow preventers. So it's one of those ways that we do to try to prevent contamination of the water. And I think I've said it on here probably been a year ago, but EPA was really only started in 1978. So before 1978, the Cuyahoga River in Ohio, was on fire. There was a lot of places that were bad places, and there weren't things being monitored. Nowadays, there's a process in place that allows us to monitor more. The trouble with it is that we start to go to extremes, so it begins to get cost prohibitive. So a lot of people try to go around those protocols and take shortcuts, and that's when we get in trouble.
Gotcha. All right, Jeff Halcom's our guest. And Jeff, when we come back, I want to ask you a question. We talk about the bad news and the good news about our water. All right, we focus on both. The bad news is that we obviously have been worried about the levels of water. But what is the good news? There's some good news out there, I know. We'll share that with you next right here with Jeff Halcom on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Eat fresh and local and grow or gather what you can. Planting and harvesting a garden is good exercise. It also gets you out in the sun, which lowers rates of depression. The children who learn to swim at an early age hit certain physical and developmental milestones faster than kids who learned later in life. The sleep hormone melatonin also acts as a powerful antioxidant. It will repair damage at the cellular level as long as you get the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night.
The John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. We're at Florida. Partly sunny today. There can be a thunderstorm around at any time. The high 88 to 92. A thunderstorm in the area this evening, then partly cloudy later tonight, low 71 to 75. Partly sunny tomorrow with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 89 to 93. For Friday, times of clouds and sun. Look for a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is Joe, and I'm your host for the new show, Damage Control, every Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m., brought to you by Damage Control Services. We're going to be discussing floods, fires, storm and tree damage, sinkholes, mold, and many other disasters that you need to know about, how to prevent and prepare for them, as well as what to do when it happens and what to expect after it happens. This is Damage Control, Tuesdays at 10:30, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, Ocala.
A couple minutes ago, where the waters are, Urban Meyer's brother. I swear he could be his brother. He looks just like him. Before the break, I asked you for some good news about, we know we have a drought. We've had a drought. It's a little bit better. We know our rivers and lakes are still down. We know that, some of our water is contaminated in certain places, etc. We got nitrates. Is there any good news on the front of water right now locally? Is there anything good we can talk about?
There is a ton of good news. One thing is every week I get a email from the Southwest Florida Water Management District, and it shows what the north, central, and south aquifers look like as far as their water levels.
Swift mud?
Yes. And this year, compared to last year, all of them are in the normal range. So they're not below. They were below normal last year. They're all in the normal range. Which, what does that mean? Well, there's a degree of, is the water going to be able to meet the needs of the population right now? And so, yes, it's there. So that's a good thing. Several other good things that are happening in South Florida. One of the concerns I always had, I think I may have brought it up here once before, is that ocean outfall should be outlawed. There should be no ocean outfall. And South Florida is going to start to live that one. There's not going to be an ocean outfall. It's going to take about 20 years.
Explain the ocean outfall.
What happens is in a waste treatment plant, after they treat the water, like in the city of Ocala, what we use the water for is to go out on golf courses and baseball fields. No, it's not gray water. It's a little bit different gray water. Gray water, to be technical, gray water is stuff out of your sink or out of the dishwasher. Okay. Or out of a wash machine.
Gotcha.
But the treated wastewater in the city of Ocala, like I say, goes out to golf courses, ag uses, and so on and so forth. Well, in South Miami and some of the places on the coast, they just shove the fresh water, the treated wastewater, out into the ocean. And the problem with that is obviously that you're putting fresh water and salt water, but you're also putting water that has nitrogen in it into where the corals grow, and so it's not good for it. So yeah, so they're in a process right now. Actually, South Florida, Miami-Dade, they got fined $780,000, almost $800,000, and they have 20 years to clean up, and it's going to cost them about $1.9 billion for the cleanup. Wow. So there's a lot of good things going on.
And before we get to the final level of Silver Springs, so our water levels are creeping up a little bit, or?
Let's just say, because I don't want to make any enemies, let's just say that our water levels currently, with the rainfalls that we had, are adequate to meet our needs.
Okay. Well, that's what do we use in the city up to 17 million gallons? Is that
what we use currently right now is right around 13 million gallons a day.
But you have access to more if you needed it.
We have access to more if we needed it.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for updating us on that. Give us a real quick rundown. There's a Silver Springs meeting coming up Thursday night?
Yeah, on Thursday. Yeah, there's another, they call them Silver Springs Basin Management Action Plan meetings. And that is going to Thursday, and I think it starts around 10 o'clock, usually lasts till around 2 o'clock at the Marion County Growth Center. So they'll be talking more about what's going on with the springs, and there's a lot of questions out there, people that have they'll try to answer. If they can't answer, they'll they go back and they query themselves and they try to answer all the questions.
Well, would you or one of your staff be there by any chance?
Yes. Yeah, we're there every time they
Maybe
have
we can
one.
talk again soon after you have the meeting.
Absolutely.
Love having you on the show.
I love being here.
It's so important, and you do a great job, and thanks for spending some time with us and trying to enlighten us around here. That's a full-time job, I know, but
it's great. I enjoy it. Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to do a shout-out to a friend of mine that went to Moffett today. It's Kerry Rhodes, and hope everything comes out okay.
Yeah, Kerry, we're thinking about you, my man. All right, thanks a lot. Jeff Halcomb, the Waterman, his orders are. We'll take a break, come back. We've got Buddy Sports Page coming up next. We're going to talk about that unbelievable game last night. LeBron lost his headband and for a while lost his head. More to come, including an interview with a referee, a guy who knows all about the zebras, right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're ocalaforsale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Hi, I'm Russ with Climate Control Mechanical Services, and I want to invite you to tune in every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. to listen for tips and answers to the many questions you may have about your air conditioning and heating for your home or business. The Climate Control Show, every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on WOCA, 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Daria Albinger, the CDC says the HPV vaccine works. Pre-teenage girls who got it were 50% less likely to develop the virus, which can lead to cancer. The CDC is recommending that all 11 and 12-year-old girls get the vaccine. Some opponents say, though, it could encourage them to have sex. You probably remember where you were when you heard about TWA Flight 800. A new documentary questions the cause of the explosion over New York's Long Island Sound. The official cause, a faulty fuel tank. Well, now a former government investigator says the FBI doctored that evidence. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is slamming the brakes on Jeep Liberty strollers. It's recalling almost 100,000 of them made by Coalcraft, which may have a defective inner tube. More than a dozen people have been hurt by it. Phone went dead. Not a problem in New York City. AT&T launching a new green project called Street Charge, bringing 25 solar-powered charging stations to the Big Apple through October. This is ABC News.
Hi, Tom Bodette. It's never been easier to book a clean, comfortable room at Motel 6. You can book online at motel6.com, use our cool new app on your tablet or smartphone, or call 1-800-4MOTEL-6 on your dumb phone. Sadly, you can't book by pigeon or Morse code, so if you want the lowest price of any national chain by telegraph, I guess you're just ... I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Membership helps Strictly Bicycles keep business tuned.
Building a bike is like building a small business. With a bike, it's about weight, and a business, it's cutting costs.
The Plum Card from American Express Open offers an early pay discount or extra time to pay your bill with no interest.
It helps with my cash flow and lets me reinvest so I can put my money to work.
Find out more at open.com.
I'm Nelson Gutierrez, and I'm a member of Making My Money Work as Hard as I Do.
This is what membership is. This is what membership does.
Terms and conditions apply.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the phone house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slice.
And now, here's Buddy.
It's time. The day after Game 6 and the day before Game 7. What a basketball game last night. I'm telling you, one for the ages. All you fans in Miami and those of you who turned your TV sets off last night deserve what you got. I've never seen such a cascade of negative tweets come down so fast in the final minutes of the game last night, what they thought were the final minutes. I mean, LeBron James was garbage. Terrible. I say LeBron James was Lazarus. He came back from the dead last night. And he brought the Miami Heat with him, and thankfully Ray Allen earned his all of his money with one shot last night. So we're going to talk about, did the Spurs lose their Game 7? You know, and if Leonard makes those free throws or Manu Ginobili makes his, we're talking about a Spurs dynasty today. So it goes to show you that as JJ says, every position your career legacy hangs on. If you don't make this play, you're garbage. If you make it, you're a hero. That's how we live in our society.
Well, that's how it is with LeBron, man. In this series, just every single time down the floor, defense or offense, his reputation hangs in the balance. Can you compare him to MJ? It's always like that. You know, it's insane how I've never seen that with any other player, any other sport, where there's so much hatred for him, and then they sort of have to give him a little respect because he is the best player in the game. But any chance they get, they're jumping on LeBron.
All right,
every time.
Who thought it was one of the best games I've ever seen? Raise your hand.
For sure.
All right,
Absolutely.
all for us.
Game 6s are always better than Game 7s, any sport.
And here's the thing about it. Having said that about the people, LeBron looked totally helpless for 2 plays. He looked as bad as you could possibly look on 2 plays. He gave the game back in 2 plays. And even his own teammates were wondering, what is going on? Because it was very un-LeBron-like. As good as he was, as the greatest player on the planet, those 2 plays, he was the worst player on the planet. I got to give him that, the fans who got mad and walked out, because it was just ugly.
And it was after he had such a bad game, and then in the fourth quarter turned it on. They came down from 10 points. And then he goes back to baffling plays.
Yes. And here's what Dwayne Wade said. And you have to listen to this interview way down and dig it out to get it. Of course, he loves LeBron and says this is a great series, a lot of great players, but he's the greatest of them all. But he said of the game last night, whenever he went into his little funk, I've never seen him like that before. I didn't know what was going on. So Dwayne Wade was concerned about it because it was so un-LeBron-like.
Is that what he said about LeBron's good performance or bad?
No, it's bad.
Last couple seconds.
It was the last couple seconds.
Okay.
He said,
well, Dwayne Wade needs to be quiet because he's not exactly helping anybody out.
But Dwayne Wade spent the whole time extolling the virtues of LeBron.
Exactly.
Talking about how great he was, and they just expect him to be great all the time. And, we brought up the idea of him, by the way, the headband thing, I've had enough of that.
By the way, he will wear the headband in Game 7.
Didn't have it on, by the way, in the press conference today. I watched it live. Didn't have it on. I'm kind of liking it without the headband.
It looks like more un-YMCA league-ish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Backyard basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Take off the headband. We know you're bald. We see it now.
What it does for me is it makes it harder to recognize who he is.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I was like, oh, Wade, good play out there. Nah.
Are we going pro headband or no headband?
I'm going no headband.
I want
no
the
headband.
You say none, Hunter?
None, buddy.
I say none.
Yeah,
Tom's the only guy that wants
and guess who LeBron agrees with?
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
So
there's probably some. Nike's like, you better put that headband on.
Yeah, to me, it looks like you said a backyard game, and it looks like something out of a bad 70s game.
But that's what the style is.
Well, I heard somebody last night that made a great analogy. They said, Jeff Van Gundy, he makes a great thing. He says, the Spurs flow like a good orchestra, and the Heat look like a record that's skipping. But that's how they play. That's the way they play.
Yeah. How about the shot by Ray Allen? There's so many aspects of this game we can cover and talk about.
So think
Number
about
one,
stepping back.
Well, here's the thing. You got to go. You got to look at it and think, what was Popovich thinking, not having Tim Duncan in the game? Because if that shot would never have happened. Bosh would never have gotten the rebound. By the way, props for Chris Bosh.
Big game.
He played some big last night on crucial plays. His blocks are the reason they won that game.
After Tim Duncan abused him down low.
Yeah.
For 3 quarters.
Yeah. But think of that Ray Allen shot. How great was that Ray Allen shot? He talked about it. He knew where his sweet spot was. He stepped back. Bosh immediately recognized him. He tosses the ball over there, and boy, he drains it. And they were talking about the shot and if they thought it was going to go in or not. Dwayne Wade said, he said, I was under the basket and I saw it. And I think this thing's going to go in, and boom, it went in, and boy, that was just an amazing
Chris
shot.
Boss said, when they said, how were you able to find Ray Allen so quick? He said, what do you mean find Ray Allen? Well, I did. The only two things I was looking at is a ball coming off the rim and where Ray was going.
Yeah, exactly.
There was 2 clutch, lucky offensive rebounds. LeBron, after he clanged the first 3, gets it back, luckily.
That was a big one.
And then the Bosch rebound. And they just need to foul in that situation. Send Bosch to the line.
But fouling in that situation, what good's that going to do you? Because the referees, the last 25, 30 seconds of that game, swallowed every whistle in the building.
But they've been doing that this whole series.
Well,
they've let them play.
You know what? That's what you say.
They let them play.
That's what you guys say. But the man who knows about zebras, who's a consultant to the NBA and a consultant to the SEC, and did 6 Final Fours, he'll be on at 5:30. He tells me referees never swallow whistles. Hey, I'm just telling you.
All I know is LeBron got fouled going up for a layup there right towards the end.
I know.
Didn't get called.
I understand.
And if Neal, or was it Green? If Green didn't get fouled on that
Green
block,
was fouled by Bosch. There's no question about it.
Horribly fouled.
But the fact that
on the last second
what the man said.
Yeah.
Y'all think he got fouled?
Of course
I thought
he
it was
did.
a block.
Me too. I disagree with y'all.
If you look at it, he's got all ball, but Bosch's chest and hip is knocking against Danny Green, and that's a foul.
And so did Van Gundy. So that was a foul too. But anyway, I just want to say,
when Van Gundy agrees with the referees, when disagrees with the referees, I'm surprised, aren't you?
Oh, but I think it's been a well officiated series. I really do.
I think they're letting him play.
I think they're really.
I just hate to see Joey Crawford involved in anything.
I'm the least Joey Crawford fan in the world. I've been an anti-Joey Crawford guy since I saw him call games in Denver. But I got to say, everybody I know thinks he's a fantastic official. They all do. The ones who know think he's the best in the game and one of the best of all time. I don't agree with it. That's what they think. But in terms of the game, what does LeBron say? By far, the best game I've ever been a part of. That's how much he thought of the game last night. So, anyway, JJ, quick headline hit. We're going to take a break. Come back.
Yeah, we got that. We also have Aaron Hernandez.
This is a scary story.
Yeah, under investigation. Well, I guess they're saying he's not under investigation, but
his home,
his home and his car are part of an investigation involving a 27-year-old man who was killed a couple of days ago, and his body was found in Aaron Hernandez's neighborhood.
Odin Lloyd, found about a mile from where Hernandez's house is.
Right.
And it wasn't Hernandez's car. It's a car Hernandez was rented in Hernandez's name.
Right. And cops showed up at his house. A couple people were detained and questioned, not Aaron Hernandez. There's multiple reports that he's not, speaking with police. There's other reports from the Boston Globe saying that he is. So nobody really knows right now. But what we do know is, on top of all that, Aaron Hernandez is also the subject of a civil lawsuit alleging that he shot a Connecticut man in the face in February. So this 23-year-old's got some problems.
And there are indications that in his past life, when he was in college, that he had a few brushes with the law that were less than stellar as well. So watch this one closely. He's a terrific football player. But you know what I mean? It's the old whether there's smoke there's fire. You start to worry about it after a while. This is not good news for Aaron Hernandez. What else you got in there?
We got the Los Angeles Clippers a day after everything fell through with the Boston Celtics. Tuesday, their interview with Byron Scott apparently went well. I don't know if Chris Paul sat in on the meeting.
Well, let's say this. Before anybody's hired, he will be sitting in on it.
Exactly.
And you know what? If he wants Doc, he'll get Doc.
And this is the funny story of the day. Darrelle Revis apparently, when you switch a team, you pay for a number that you want. He paid Mark Barron, not sure who that is, safety, $50,000.
He was a rookie last year with the Bucks.
So this is probably bigger than that guy's signing bonus was.
What was your number, Tom?
Double nickels.
You and Scott Browning were 55?
Yep.
Did you have to pay for it when you got it?
Not in high school or in college.
Oh, okay. You just took it away from somebody. So
No. In high school, it was there, and in college, nobody had it.
Yeah. 55 is a good number.
Of course, my high school now.
That was also one of Brendan's numbers, 55.
My high school now, nobody can wear it.
Because your high school's gone.
No, because it's on the fence. Retired.
So what?
It's on the fence.
This guy that played after him had 55.
There's a guy that was two people after the accident.
It's just like, you didn't say anything else. Just retired, let it go with
truthful.
that.
Guys
sometimes better to lie in this group.
But yeah, $50,000 for a number. That's pretty awesome.
But he makes $13 million.
Yeah.
And somebody said, "Oh, but $50,000." Let's think about what that is.
Yeah, but who's advising this guy?
$130,000 is 1%, so he paid less than 0.5% for his number.
But pay $5,000. Take $5,000. Say, I'll take you to dinner, and here's $5,000.
But it's going to stars have to pay more than that. They just have to.
That's ridiculous.
Michael Vick paid a ton of money to get number 7
up
ridiculous. Philadelphia.
All right, what else you got, JJ? Any more news?
USA men's basketball team, but we'll wait if you want to do that.
There's a huge story that JJ just glosses over.
Well, why don't we hold it after the break?
But it's a headline.
Well,
we'll do it after the break.
Well, we're going way over time. The producers are talking again, Hunter, and we're over once again.
Right.
We'll take a break on Buddy Sports Page after this timeout on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source. Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly "Are You Kidding Me" rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin for Renstar Medical Research. Every day we hear another story about innovation or about the cutting edge of technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. But did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that will impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people are right now. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend an opportunity to you to be a part of these. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA, The Source.
Cookies, 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 cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order.
Cookies, cookies,
Yum.
cookies, cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
The Great American Cookie Company.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Hi, I'm Ernie Sprantz. Join me weekday mornings at 10:50 for Report to Consumers. Consumer news you can use from your hometown station. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
WOCA.
All right, back in the program, before the break, we said a big story was brewing and something that we should know about. And we put a muzzle on Tom. It took four of us. And we finally said, okay, we can wait. Now, what's this big story you're talking about?
Well, on the official website of Tiger Woods, he's got his own website, you know.
Of course, he got his own everything.
He has put out this release. I've been advised to take a few weeks off, rest, and undergo treatment. I'll be ready for the British Open. I would like to extend my regrets to the AT&T, our sponsors, and the fans in the Washington, D.C. area. The AT&T National means a lot to me and my foundation. It's especially difficult not to defend it.
So what's the big deal about skipping the tournament?
Tiger Woods skipping. He hosts the tournament.
Oh, that's the reason.
He's the host of the tournament.
He's skipping his own tournament?
He's skipping his own tournament.
The one he stole from the International?
For to get that one.
Okay.
The week he took from the International. Not that you're bitter or anything.
Well, I mean, it shows where his heart is.
Right.
You know.
But he, he hosts the National, so it's going to be a little awkward that he's not playing in the tournament he set up for, for himself, So.
Okay.
But that's the news out of the golfing world. Tiger Woods to skip his own tournament.
There you go. Hey, Johnny
so
Manziel.
keep watching him, JJ. He's a role model.
Okay, a little college football talk.
A role model. That's not why I watch him.
You guys through the morality play here? I got to go on with this? Okay. Johnny Manziel. Okay, he's making news.
You talk about morals and then say Johnny Manziel.
Well,
That's pretty
actually,
good.
I don't see anything wrong with his morals at this point. I just, other than the fact he's a young, talented guy who's a lot of flash and dash like a Namath was.
He's a gambler.
Well, there's a few in this room. The fact remains is he's much like Namath was.
We don't have a Heisman. We don't have a Heisman vote. You do, but we don't.
Yeah. Well, anyway, to finish the story, Manziel comes out today that he came close to transferring. All right?
Wow.
And according to Dallas Morning News Story, it wasn't the first time he thought about leaving A&M. He was a redshirt 2011, arrested for an incident in the Northgate Bar District last summer. Coach Kevin Sumlin later said the soon-to-be Heisman Trophy winning quarterback was disciplined internally, but Dallas Morning News reported that initially he was suspended for the entire 2012 season.
Wow.
Initially. And if that ruling had been upheld, Manziel was out of here. He would have felt it was necessary to transfer. So Manziel called the incident one of the biggest mistakes of my life, and he met with the media, and they smoothed it over, but he was gone. Somehow somebody pulls some strings. Now, this is what they're saying in the Dallas Morning News.
Where was he going, Florida?
He'd be sitting out for a year wherever he went, so it didn't matter. So, anyway, so he was. The thing about him, and now he's also now admitting that apparently the tweet he sent out about can't wait to get out of College Station. Remember that one last week?
Right.
Mm-hmm. According to Jeremy Fowler, he reported that Manziel had told at least one A&M coach he should never have sent that message over the weekend, and he said he regretted it and said Manziel understands the strength of his words now. So Johnny's going to be a little trouble. I think he's going to have a little bit of difficulty because he likes the bright lights and he's hard to muzzle. So
he is. He does have some. He does like to love him some Johnny.
I like the guy. I like a little.
You saw him with Skip Bayless the other day, right?
Yeah. No, I saw the show. Yeah. Now, it says here Mr. Golf is supposed to be on today, but was that your golf report?
No. We're getting you set up for a golf tournament. Yeah, I got some items.
Well, bring it. It's just
Can
time.
we do it now?
Right. It says right here. It says this. Well, I'm just going what JJ tells me to do.
Well, I don't have any Mr. Golf music. I'm missing that. I mean,
well, it's not my fault. Talk to the guy over there.
I'm all right from Caddyshack or something. You'd think you would get
late
that right
now.
away.
A little bit late right now.
Today, this week's tour stop, the Travelers Championship up in the Northeast. People not going to be there, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, the big names will not be at the Travelers Championship this week. Good piece of trivia about the Travelers. First place to win for Arnold Palmer to win in his PGA career. It's then called the Insurance Open. But
the King, Arnold Palmer. You got to say the King, Mr. Arnold Palmer.
The King, Arnold Palmer. My favorite to win this week, it's at is Hunter Mahan. He's won at this event before.
Wait a minute, how could you pick the guy I picked last week?
Because he plays this golf course well. So that's who I picked.
I thought I had something going there on Sunday.
I thought you did too, and JJ and I discussed on Saturday how we would never be able to live it down if you actually did.
I was going to either pick Hunter Turner or Hunter Mahan. I couldn't make up my mind.
The tournament, the Travelers Championships at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut. Winner's share $1,880,000. $1,880,000. And I have not been able to tell whether Ted Potter has qualified for this tournament or not, but I'm sure he has. I'm sure he can play in it. I'm checking now to see tee times to see if Ted Potter is involved.
Well, I was told Mr. Golf knows all. I don't know. That's why somebody said, don't worry about it. If it's golf, Mr.
Ted
Golf
Potter
knows it
will
all.
not be in the field this week.
I told you he knew everything, so there you go. All right, so we kind of get down to the British Open. By the way, I'm never going to call it the Open. Don't ask me to.
It's the Open Championship.
It is not. Any more than, I'll tell you why. You know why?
Why?
Because do you think it's the U.S. Masters?
No, it's the Masters.
No. In England, they call it the U.S. Masters. That's what they call it, the U.S. Masters.
Well, they're wrong in England.
Well, you're wrong in saying it's the Open in America. It may be the Open over there. To here, it's the British Open.
It's the Open Championship.
Yeah. Well, when you move to England, you can just say that. But right
First off, it's not in England. It's in
Great Britain.
The Isle of Great Britain.
Yeah. And the bottom line is, it is in England a lot.
That's four separate countries.
Yeah, I did know that. Believe it or not, I didn't know that because Hunter told me. But the bottom line is, it's not the Open.
What
it's
are the four
British
countries?
Open. If you say the Open, that implies
the
what?
U.S. Open.
Correct. So
that's what are the four countries on the Great Britain Isle?
Is this a geography lesson?
I'm just asking. Huh? Just asking.
Put up with this stuff.
England, Scotland.
All right, coming up in just a minute, we'll talk to Don.
Northern Ireland, too.
Let me get back to some of this interesting.
Northern Ireland's not part of Great Britain.
Let's.
Yes, it is. It is part of the British Isle. Yes, it is.
All right, that's a subject for another time. I want to get back to the basketball game for a second. Ask you guys a couple, because we're going to be talking about it in a minute. In the game last night, a couple of calls that I was concerned about. One was the Danny Green foul, Bosch fouling Danny Green, which I thought, did you see the elbow that Ginobili threw to James' throat?
Yes.
That was not only a foul, it was a flagrant.
Awful.
It was a flagrant. I'm sorry they're going to call flagrant fouls, and that didn't even get mentioned. They didn't get a call. That was, to me, the worst no call of the night.
I still totally disagree on the last call, the game, that you think that was a foul. The Bosch block.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you at all on that one.
Okay, well, that's
I think that maybe I think that Green initiated contact with his body at the end of the shot, but I don't think it was a foul on Bosch.
Well,
Tim Donaghy doesn't think so either.
Evidently, it's not because they didn't call it. But in my opinion, it was a foul. That's what I'm talking about. And
what about the foul where LeBron in overtime was going up for the layup and kind of had his elbow out? Danny Green flew backwards like he got shot. A lot of people where I was at were thinking that should be an offensive foul.
If you want to go there, how about Tim Duncan throwing Chris Bosh on the floor?
Oh, my gosh, on that screen?
Completely body slammed him on the floor.
That's when they had a wide open layup for Manu, I think.
Yeah,
that was an absurd play.
It was.
Most of the series has been straight on calls. This one, this was just such a close game that this is the first game we've cared about the calls. Yeah. You know, the rest of the game's blowouts.
Out of the whole thing, what I really liked about LeBron James although he looked last night like he was a scared rabbit there for those last two possessions. And that is his quote at the end of the game when Doris Burke asked him about the game. He scored 32, right? He had a triple-double. He said, I made some bad mistakes, but even if we had lost, I knew I'd give him my best. And today, his teammate also said the same thing. LeBron gave his all. If we'd have lost the game, so be it. But he gave everything he had. I think it's the fact that the guy's got so much pressure on him to perform, to every play. You know, no basketball player, in my opinion, has ever had more weight on him in one championship than LeBron James does in this series.
Agreed. But here's my question, and I'm not an NBA guy, so maybe I don't understand. Why is it Boris Diaw made LeBron James, when he was covered in single coverage, made LeBron James take jumpers and fall-away jumpers for 3 quarters, but then in the fourth quarter, LeBron could just leave him standing there like he wasn't even able to cover him. I don't understand if Boris Diaw couldn't cover him in the fourth quarter, why was he not doing that in quarters 1 through 3?
People play at different levels and different gears. You know,
I mean, look what happened with Duncan in the fourth quarter. He just gets old and withered and doesn't play well.
Yeah, but he wouldn't get a chance last night. He wasn't in the game.
That was on like a couple possessions with barely any seconds left.
Yeah, but there were times when they could have gotten him the ball. What did he score the first half?
30. Well, no, he had 30 in the first 3 quarters and then 0.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened?
Like 24 in the first half, I think.
I'm just saying, look, if I got a guy who scored 30 in the first 3 quarters, he's getting the ball in the fourth quarter, okay? He's getting it. Now, Popovich is too good of a coach.
Maybe he overcoached.
Well, how about Tony Parker's not even on the court to bring
hurt.
the ball up at the end of the game?
But he's hurt. I mean, I understand that a little bit. You know why he wasn't on? Because he's a terrible he can't shoot the 3. He really not a 3-point shooter.
I feel bad for Tony Parker. He made 2 of the biggest shots in his whole career, by the way. That 3 to tie the game in LeBron's face, and then that drive to the basket to take a 2-point
But
lead.
Bosch's block on him was huge.
Tony Parker's a great player.
One of the top 5, wouldn't you say, buddy?
I would continue to do so. He's a great player. If he hadn't been hurt, they probably would have won this series by now.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to the man who knows a little about basketball, as opposed to those who think they know something about basketball, who refereed 6 Final Fours, consulted to the NBA, consulted to the SEC, Don Rutledge. We'll ask his opinion about some of the calls last night in Game 6, right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Is your old car a strikeout? Strike 1.
It's embarrassing to drive.
Strike 2.
It costs too much to maintain.
Strike 3.
You owe more than it's worth.
You're out of there.
Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. I'm celebrating 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and driving.
So this week you can hit a grand slam.
I'm giving you a ton of cash off a nicer, newer car you'll love to drive.
Are you riding the bench because of bad credit? Or for the people credit approval process goes to bat with the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game.
Join the major leagues and start driving a car you love.
Come see us during our Drive It Out of the Park event and get a ton of cash off a new ride.
Hurry, this game isn't going into extra innings. The stadium goes black after we've helped 57 people score a new ride. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige in Ocala or Bellevue, or call 694-1234. Sierra Prestige.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Eat fresh and local and grow or gather what you can. Planting and harvesting a garden is good exercise. It also gets you out in the sun, which lowers rates of depression. The children who learn to swim at an early age hit certain physical and developmental milestones faster than kids who learned later in life. The sleep hormone melatonin also acts as a powerful antioxidant. It will repair damage at the cellular level as long as you get the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night.
The John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to Dairy Queen for a great new meal. Dairy Queen's now serving 3 different $5 meals. Hot dogs with chili, cheese, slaw, whatever. Quarter pound with cheese, loaded up any way you like it. Solid filet chicken tenders. And each meal comes with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $5. You got that right. Nobody beats that deal. A great value and a great meal. So come on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
You're listening to WOCA, Ocala.
With the roof right over our heads, we'll share the shelter of my single bed.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time was we had a series like this where people talk about everywhere you go. It's really the subject of discussion among fans everywhere. And we were talking during the break, and, you know, just so many bizarre things that took place. Mike Miller making a three-pointer with no shoe.
Yeah, no shoe whatsoever. And did you ever doubt that it was going in? As soon as he shot it, you knew it was in.
I didn't know he had one shoe when he did it until he showed the replay.
Well, no, they were saying Mike Miller's running around without a shoe. I
didn't notice that part.
You tune out
sometimes
the announcers a lot.
Sometimes I do. Yeah, and I watch the game, but I didn't notice it. I didn't see it. I'm on. Anyway, that's a big play. There's so many big plays in that game. So many, none bigger than, of course, look, first of all, Tony Parker made a step back 3 we hadn't even talked about. Mm-hmm. That tied the game at 89 right there. That was a huge play. And then Chalmers killed him with a turnover. And then how about that shot where Parker spins around and there's a lay-in with a minute to go?
That's what I said. I said before the break, Parker made 2 of the best shots of his career, and we're not going to remember it because they lost the game.
Yeah. And San Antonio had that game in the bag. Do you guys get the feeling sometimes that LeBron slows the game down too much?
In the first half, I think he does that way too much. I don't like how LeBron already has so much to do on that team. They have to make him bring the ball up every time, too. That grinds my gear. He could really be running some plays, screens, doing something for the team. Now they're making him dribble it up every single time. They've been doing that. Leave that to Chalmers.
And guard Tony Parker.
Exactly.
By the way, I think he operates. I noticed yesterday when he backs out and plays the left side of the court. For some reason, he looks better out there. I don't know what it is. He's so many times on the right side of the.
He goes towards the back.
Starts dribbling into the circle, and people clogs up and things happen. He tries to dish off, and he's had a few turnovers.
I think last night there was a lot of clogging in the lane. They were not going to let them score in the lane at all. And LeBron wasn't keen to shoot the jumper, I guess.
Well,
I thought there was a couple of situations when they were leaving him so much space open.
He
for
wasn't
3.
taking it. They were inviting him to take that 20-footer or 15-footer.
He didn't.
By the way, the worst plays was that he took it inside and looked like he threw the ball up there and said, well, that was a lob. I mean, that was an awful
who?
My gosh.
There was nobody even on that side of the court.
And then they turned the ball and the Spurs turned the ball over. LeBron gets the ball, got a fast break.
Oh,
and
my
he lets,
God.
And by the way, why wasn't anybody trailing him? Don't they trail the guy? I mean, for crying out loud.
They don't hustle him.
He goes up and lets Green block him again. You know, and ball bounce. Yeah, not play wasn't foul.
I think that was a good no foul too. On that
he got the whole ball there.
Referees are terrible. Who cares? The officials are horrible. I hate officials.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Miami should have won this series in 4 if the officials had been good.
4.
I do believe somebody said that the Spurs wouldn't get out of the first round, but I won't see who that was.
Well, if the officials had called the game right, they wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly right. So, but anyway, I love Game 7s. It's going to be a fabulous night tomorrow night. We're all going to be gathered around. Let's hope it doesn't turn out to be a bummer. Because so many times when we get in a 7th game or a big moment or a Super Bowl, it's like, oh, man, it's going to be magical. It's going to be great plays.
And then it's a dud.
And then last night's game was off the charts. That should have been a Game 7 because that was a great game. And then we get to tomorrow night, you get there, and all of a sudden somebody doesn't show up, and they lose by 20.
Well, you know, last night I was watching after the game. I was on Twitter, and I was watching everything. And can we stop with all the conspiracy theories? There were so many boneheads on there saying, see, you knew it was going to happen. They let Ray make that three-pointer, and then they didn't call the foul on the other end, so we'd have a Game 7.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Nobody let Ray Allen make that three-pointer.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Conspiracy theorists said you knew there was going to be a Game 7. I knew when Miami was down with 24 seconds left that they'd still win because you got to have a game to stop it. No, you didn't know that.
It's true.
They haven't had a game. They've had 2 Game 7s in basically my lifetime since I've been watching basketball. 05, you had the Pistons and the Spurs. That series stunk. You don't remember that. And in 2010, the Lakers played the Celtics. That was a good series. But since
don't
then,
you love how everybody says it's the NBA making sure they have a Game 7?
Tom, I'm trying to tell you, it's true. It does happen. The guy in the black helicopter told me.
Okay.
So I know it's true.
Right before he buzzed down to Buffalo Wild Wings to get the game in overtime, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, I did not want that game to go to overtime last night.
No, you
so
wanted to
late.
It was ridiculous.
Overtime didn't start till 12 o'clock.
I mean, I wouldn't give you much of a chance. When they were down by 12, let's be honest. Now, we rip on the Miami fans, but be honest. Did you think? I thought it was over.
When they at the beginning of the fourth quarter, when they were down by 10, I said all they got to do is make 2 or 3 stops, and they're back in this. And they took the lead.
So I was thinking at the end of the third quarter, they started scoring a little more and looking a little better. I thought if they can get it to a 10-point game going in the fourth quarter, they could go to overtime. They could win this game.
But they had a lead in the fourth quarter.
Yes, and then LeBron stepped it up in like 3 minutes. All of a sudden, you look up. Miami's up by 4 points.
They went in. It was like 76-66, and then at one time it was when I looked, and I was DVRing it, so I sort of got cheated because I'm DVRing it, and I got a little DVR to keep time. So I'm flipping over and I'm watching soccer, and there it flashes on the bottom of the screen: Miami 84, San Antonio 82. Yeah. I was like, what? They've already come back to erase that entire 10-point
Battier was hitting threes.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting involved.
And that's the thing. You've said it before on this show, buddy. And we've said it here on the show, where it takes some teams an entire quarter to take a 10-point or 12-point deficit. The Heat can do that kind of thing, come back from that big a deficit, or put you in that kind of a deficit in a matter of minutes. And that's
like
what they did last night.
3 or 4 possessions. Battier banked a 3 in.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that's going to get him heated up. Because remember how awesome he was in the finals last year? Shot like 58%.
He was Danny Green last year.
This year he was like 11% from 3. Banks a shot in and then makes a huge 3 down the stretch in the fourth quarter.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a scenario. You're going to laugh at me.
Okay. Look,
you're going to tell me I'm full of beans. I know it, and that's okay. But I'm going to tell you something. As bad as LeBron James was last night.
He still had a triple-double.
No, you don't even think about that. He does something that makes such a big difference in this team, and it was proven last night. He constantly finds open players and gets his teammates involved, and he builds up their confidence. They also know that he has confidence in them, and they see how hard he plays, and that's what Dwayne Wade said today. he said he looked out there and LeBron was just giving it everything he had. He said, everything. And he's inspiring, and he's not selfish with the basketball, and he has confidence and trust in his teammates, a la Ray Allen and the three-pointer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling
that's
you.
That's what makes LeBron, to me, that's what will always make LeBron more the discussion of greatest ever than Kobe Bryant. Because Kobe Bryant never, any time in his career, trusted any of his teammates. LeBron not only has trust, but he shows that trust by giving them the ball at crunch time.
Yeah.
And Kobe Bryant, for all his greatness, do you think Kobe Bryant would ever kick the ball out to Mike Miller as he drives the lane?
He tried to do that, and he became a worse player this past year.
Yeah.
He overdid it. And when he started, he can't play that kind of basketball.
No, he's.
I mean, that's just
that's
built,
asking Melo to do that. You know, it's not going to fly.
It's just not in their DNA to do that. But I just wanted to say that because I think it's important when you're on a team and you got people believe in. You play sports, you know what it's like. Somebody believes in and says, "Okay, your coach put you up there to pinch hit," or somebody comes out of the mound and says to you, "I'm going to leave you in because I know you can get it done." But people believe in you. Look at Ginobili. That's the only reason he got back in Game 4.
And Ginobili's going to play Game 7.
But I mean, he didn't play good last night. But his coach put him in the lineup, started him, and what did he do?
Yeah.
He had belief in him. And I think it's so much a part of sports, and it shouldn't be lost. That LeBron said, "I got to find my guys." And last night he didn't do it, but Chris Bosh said, "What? It wasn't even a question. I knew who I was looking for. Ray Allen."
Yeah. Well, down 3 points with seconds to go.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Chris Bosh, I'm not looking for LeBron James.
Greatest NBA three-point shooter of all
ever.
time.
Yeah, and you know what?
On the floor. That's what I'm looking for.
And that looked like the old Ray Allen at that moment. Some of these threes
got such a quick release.
You know what it is? He got game.
Horrible film.
Speaking of game, we got some game going on today. We got a little football going on around variety. It says on my sheet right here, the corner kick's coming up after the break.
Corner kick is coming up after the break.
We'll take a break, come back. JJ will tell us about what's happening in the world of soccer, or as they say, football, right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444. Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of events, special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report, right here on The Source.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robert and I will be speaking to Stacey A. Rowcliffe, completing her master's in clinical psychology. She's coming on to speak about her book, Female Fusion, Women different flowers from the same garden.
Open for debate, where both sides of one issue will be debated.
And then Hank Whittier will be on the news bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
And then let's talk golf with PGA professional and the Golf College founder James R. Beckett.
And then the guys from Climate Control Mechanical Services will be on the air answering your questions about that device outside you call an air conditioner that keeps you cool during these hot summer days.
Dr. Ravi Sandapati is a board-certified radiation oncologist. He serves on the item writing committee for the American Board of Radiology's written examinations, and he will be speaking to us about the Florida Regional Cancer Centers.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's ocalaforsale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. Ocalaforsale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Couldn't get a hold of Don Rutledge. We'll get him after game 7 tomorrow night and get him on the next day. And by the way, we're broadcasting live from Lake Weir on Friday for the state wakeboard championships. There at the residence of it's a place called Last Resort, and we're going to the Last Resort. We'll be broadcasting out of there with the wakeboard championships. We'll have Tom Ingram as our host. And it should be a good day for us out there. Like, we're JJ, I'm sorry about it, buddy, but you can't get you out
it's
there.
All right.
Be thinking about you. JJ, coming up just a second before you do your soccer, your corner kick. Just for Tom James, because he's the only person who wants to know this.
Yeah.
In case he's driving tonight and he forgets that tonight there's a game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final with the Boston Bruins hosting. And we'll see, they're up 2-1, by the way, in this series over the Blackhawks. So if you're looking for television tonight, it'll be on. Meanwhile, there's something called soccer or football going on in this world. JJ,
Yes.
what you got?
The last 2 American World Cup qualifying games have been the same night as the NBA Finals, buddy. Luckily, last time the game was a blowout, so we all switched over. Watched the United States beat Panama. Last night, not as lucky. USA beat Honduras, though, 1-0. And this is in the group stage of the qualifying for the World Cup. This is very important. This puts us at the top of the table, ahead of Costa Rica, ahead of Mexico. Being ahead of Mexico by 5 points, buddy. That's our main rival. That's who we're always worried about. The next game isn't until September the 5th, so we have a lot of time being in first place. It's good to be American right now. Jose Altidore scored for the 4th straight United States game, which has only happened one other time in the early 1900s. Ties an American record. So USA Soccer looking very, very good right now, buddy.
I'm wondering if they're going to get any traction. I know a lot of people in your age group, and really up to people who are pre-boomers, I see a lot of people watching soccer.
Well, NBC Sports just signed a massive, massive deal with the English Premier League, which instead of being on Fox Soccer Channel, you know, where a lot of people don't have that on their cable package, everybody has this channel. NBC Sports Network. They're going to show all the games next year. NBC is going to show more games. Fox has a contract with the Champions League. So more English and European soccer is being played over in America.
Hunter,
and that's getting people more excited.
Do you watch soccer, Hunter?
No, Hunter doesn't.
No, I don't watch soccer on a regular basis, buddy.
Do your friends watch it?
Oh, my cousins, my family are big soccer fans.
Here's the problem I have with it, is knowing when they're going to be playing. Like I found it the other night because I was disgusted with the other game, so I flipped it over, and I watched some of it. So,
ESPN's not exactly showing on the bottom line when all these games are.
And you're up on it, and you follow it, and you know this, but you know, just knowing when the games are played.
It takes effort to follow the game of soccer. That's a fact.
You know what soccer needs? Soccer needs to have somebody like the kid they got for the Dodgers, who got it basically as a baseball player.
Yusel Puig. Yeah, we don't have an American superstar, and we really ever haven't.
Yeah. We need that. If we had Americans, it's like you used to say about heavyweight fighters, you know?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
There's no good American heavyweight fighters.
And I think if we had a really good soccer player who was, American,
marketable,
we could probably. The only guy I remember that way back in the day was the son of Kyle Roach, the former Giant player who was a soccer player and played in the old. What was the league where they had the Rowdies in it? They had
USL,
whatever it was, yeah. And he was a popular, good-looking kid, and people knew him. And I think he went to SMU.
We tried with Freddie at Dew, but he just ended up being a complete bust.
Yeah, we'd like to know more, but until we get a face, soccer needs a face in America. That's what it needs. Okay, I want to thank everybody today for being on the show. Once again, we'll try to get up with our friend Don Rutledge and see if we can't catch back up with him next tomorrow. Don't forget Game 5, Game 4 tonight in the AHL's finals. And tomorrow night, Game 7, Miami, 9 o'clock. That's when they start singing the start.